was already a 4x1 track team. To get that sort of explosion in one cut slasher in a runner, now you can't stack the box to play Jonathan Taylor because of what they can do on the outside. And if you go too high as safeties, he's absolutely going to gut you.
Another strong performance off the bench for Team USA by Austin Reeves at the FIBA World Cup. 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. The United States rolled by Greece 109-81 and is on to round 2.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
And welcome back. The Brent and Friends radio show. ESPN 690. The slightly gravelly yet high-pitched at the same time, which is curious because no one else really does that, but that's who I am. That voice belongs to me, Aaron Schachter.
You sound extra gravelly today, Mike.
Thanks, buddy. Just do the rest of the show like this. There used to be a guy, not to get off tangent before I even introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Menace, Kasey Kuhrts.
All right.
Not to go off tangent the second we start, Case, but if I don't go off tangent, am I really on the air?
Not really.
All right. When I was growing up, there was a guy on the radio, Scott Farrell, legendary radio guy.
Scott.
Yeah, you know Scott Farrell.
Used to be neighbors with my dad.
No way.
Real life.
All right. He's also a big gambling addict, so it kind of fits right in with
love
you.
that guy.
Right there. Scott's big hook on the radio, guys, was that he sounded like he was on 8 kilos of coke at all times. He's just like, I gotta be the man for you, the man. Let's go to break. And that was the whole show.
Wow.
And like, even if you didn't know what Scott was talking about, it was a fun listen. So that's it. That's where I get the gravel from. Case, I'm happy to see you again, bud.
It's been too long.
We've been off the air for a couple of days, man.
We have.
Lots. I mean, dozens, maybe hundreds of people may or may not have noticed.
I got like 3 tweets. What
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you did because I told everyone Kasey would be back to explain on Monday. So go ahead, bud.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No.
So basically, no?
So what had happened was...
Pause? Don't pause?
Someone didn't pay the electric bill.
Yeah. There was an electricity issue.
Listen, it's either true or false. It may or may not be true that the lead name on this show, Brent Martineau, was in a horrific rhino accident at a zoo. May or may not be true. You don't know. You're going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out because you ain't going to find out today. Brent is either away with his family, not participating in the show, or recovering in a hospital from said rhino accident.
Huh.
And refuses to call into the show.
Do they have rhinos at the Jack Zoo? I've never been.
You've never been to the Jacksonville Zoo?
Never once.
Do you even Jacksonville, bro?
I guess not. I value...
Next thing you're going to tell me you never been to the landing before they tore it down.
Been to the landing, not the zoo.
Well, yeah, you live in Jacksonville.
I was about to take a shot at the zoo. I'm not going to lie. And then I was like,
Don't take a shot at the zoo. It's a great zoo.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's a good zoo, bro.
Yeah, they advertise, right?
You got to... Oh, I don't know about that, but if they do...
It felt like something I
Appreciate
shouldn't... Yeah, you know. Not with us specifically, but
Need a
the
zoo
company.
membership.
I'm just saying, I ain't paying money to go to the zoo. That's all.
Case, we're 4 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the last preseason game, injury updates, highlights.
We did talk about the injury updates, just Brent and the
Just
rhino.
Brent's injury.
You should have seen where the rhino got him, dude. Boy. You don't want to know, folks. Holy cow.
Cool.
Not in a good spot.
It's a good report.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort there.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
But maybe we'll hear from Brent today. Maybe not. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe he's busy efforting us more Jaguars information because, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of it to go around today. Cuts are already being made to shape this roster into 53 human beings from whence it will come.
Yes.
Big preseason game finished out the preseason for the undefeated Jacksonville Jaguars, Case.
We crowning them? We kinging them?
3-0, champs of the preseason.
I think there was 2 other 3-0 teams.
Well, you didn't see the Ravens go 3-0.
For the first time since like 2018.
Jaguars are the champs then.
Okay.
Who were the other 3-0 teams? Were you paying attention?
I was not. I saw a graphic, saw the Jags run, and I said, all right.
All right.
Go Jags. Undefeated. About time.
About time.
About time.
Finally.
Yeah.
And we will get to the highlights of that game because there were a few. There were some really, I thought, really cool bright spots.
Yeah.
And then others that I thought, well, might be a little bit concerning, maybe not. We'll see. I'll get your take on it, man.
All right.
You're always a better sounding board on this. You know where I go. Immediately, anytime I see something bad, I'm like, worst ever.
Yeah.
And then if it's good, it's like, oh, this is the best ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little more measured, I think, in your reactions.
You know me.
Okay. Before we get to any of that, Case, I do want to go ahead and say, for the record, there is a rainstorm to the south, way to the south. I mean, south of the Gulf of Mexico right now, but we may experience some of this stuff coming up on Wednesday. Tropical storm Idalia is what everyone's talking about right now. Currently moving north at around 8 miles an hour as of the 2 p.m. update. The cone of uncertainty has our area in the cone.
You sound like a pro at this.
Ooh, because I said cone of uncertainty, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Wait until I start saying stuff like hunker down or
Well-
wind squall or a swath. You wait. It's coming.
All right. I was more impressed with cone of uncertainty than swath.
Well, Case,
Okay.
you'll have to hunker down come Wednesday because swaths will be entering our area.
Okay.
No, for real, though. It's going to be a serious thing. Granted, it's not going to be a Cat 5 coming up on our city.
Hopefully not.
And really, I mean, if it's coming in on the bend, if it's coming in on the panhandle, by the time the eye wall or anything close to it, east or west of it, gets in our area, it's going to be a little bit disorganized. But the reality is it's going to shut things down Wednesday for sure. Duval County has already said, we're not doing school Tuesday. We're not doing school Wednesday. I don't even think these kids need school because we're not doing it Thursday.
I tell you what, I miss those days. The hurricane days.
What a great day that is, right? When you're a
Oh,
kid
my goodness.
and you get the news,
Oh, my
you're
goodness.
sitting there in math class, sweating an algebra exam on Wednesday, and no algebra exam this week.
Love it. Good for those kids.
Only algebra you need is hurricane plus Jacksonville equals couch surfing.
No
Let's go.
school.
No school.
Love it. Stay safe, though.
They are talking about a Wednesday arrival for the worst of the elements. But it's going to be a quick one. You know, recently, Case, over the past couple of years, we've had these slow storms kind of move in and spin over us for a little bit, drench the entire area in rain. That's supposedly not going to be the case as of now. That may change if the forecast changes. But as of now, they're talking primarily more wind than rain. May get a couple of spin-up tornadoes, Case. Those are always fun.
Says who?
The cows who fly away when they spin up.
Gotcha.
I mean, you don't see these things coming. In storms like this, they may even be wrapped in rain. You don't see it until it's here, and boy, do you not want to see it when it gets here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think I've seen any more frightening clips on TikTok or Instagram Reels than people watching tornadoes as they whirl by their house.
And you do be on TikTok.
I do.
Follow my guy Aaron, at Aaron.
Ooh,
I don't know what his name is.
Nope, that's not it. That's okay.
Jack's Radio Aaron?
Listen, it doesn't matter what my TikTok name is.
Aaron after NY? No?
The point is, storm's coming Wednesday. Make sure you got your heads up. Get all your preparations done. We have a hurricane guide with all those lists if you need a list. If I were you, I'd freestyle it, though. Just do what you do. You be you. Authentically you. If hurricane supplies for you means 3 bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and extra batteries for the remote control for the TV, then you do you, if that's what you're comfortable with. I would suggest maybe going a little bit further in the preparation. But I can't blame. I'm not here to judge.
No, you are not.
We're here to compel.
Look at us.
Compel and entertain, Case, and that's what we will begin doing now that we've gotten the hurricane nonsense out of the way.
All right.
Let's talk about Saturday night. Because I watched the game Saturday night, and then, thank you very much to my brand new NFL Plus subscription, I got to watch the condensed replay again.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Watched it twice.
Nice. Why don't you tell everybody you make money without telling them you make money?
Well, I mean, they made it cheap this year, so it's not that big a flex. Now, if I said, thanks to my brand new Sunday ticket subscription at YouTube TV for $400, people be like, whoa.
Don't you have that?
You got Brent Martineau money. No, I'm not spending that, Case.
Oh, you are too.
No, I'm not. I told you last week I had to liquidate all $400 of my Ethereum.
That's right.
Ain't spending no $400 on the Sunday ticket.
Them kids ain't got camp no more, Aaron.
They do have extracurriculars, Case. No, I'm going for NFL Plus premium. Getting that NFL Network, getting that red zone, getting all the game replays and the all 22 and the condensed. All of that is $15-16 a month.
Ooh.
Or $80 a year. Not to give the NFL a commercial.
You just did.
They certainly don't need it.
No, they don't.
But I bought it.
Nice.
So far, I'm happy with it.
That's good. Did you see anything on the condensed game you didn't see in real life?
No. Okay. Not only did I not see anything on the condensed game I didn't see in real life, but I did not see it quicker. It was like 45, 30 minutes on the condensed game.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because they take out all the nonsense in between, including analysis.
Good. Cut that out.
Sure.
Holy cow.
But we got some of that for you today.
Let's do it.
We got the analysis. I was looking at highlights for the game case, and I grabbed a few to bring to the air today, but not all of them. I mean, certainly once you get into the third quarter, you're talking about a long list of players who you probably won't see much of this season. But the game started out pretty quickly and pretty nicely for the Jags. I shouldn't say started out because in reality, it started out, I think hopes were high. You saw the offense start to move the ball. They get down to the goal line on their first possession case, and then this goes down. Cut one with Tank Bigsby.
And here's the toss, and Bixby looking for a block. He gets one, turns inside. Oh, lost the ball at the goal line. Miami has recovered the Bixby fumble right near the 1-yard line.
So if you weren't watching the game, or maybe you're listening for the first time on AM radio, allow me to decipher Brian Sexton's call. Basically, Bigsby with the handoff towards the goal line, fumbles it at the 1. Dolphins recover. Did it give you a bad, I don't know about a memory. How about a deja vu from early ETN last year?
I mean, yeah, it certainly came in my head.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, it has to pop up when you see something like that. And it's kind of like, again, it is the preseason, but I think it's like until they figure this out, like, what else is going to happen on the goal line? Like, they have to
They got to be able to do something.
They got to be able to do this consistently.
Got to be able to do something.
And it feels like as many times as they've done it right, it always comes to pop up. Again, it's the preseason, so it doesn't matter. I don't think it should overshadow anything Tank Bigsby has done in camp and in games because he's been really good. I know somebody wrote an article today saying that he was a loser of training camp. I can't figure that one out because of the fumble.
He had a tremendous training camp.
I know. I saw that on Zitter today.
Wow.
But it's just,
You saw a Zeet.
I saw a Zeet of this on Zitter. It was just a mess. But again, it's the preseason. Don't do it in the regular season. Tank still is going to be involved. I think that's clear. And it just was unfortunate.
It was unfortunate. But, I mean, a bad ending to otherwise a really good drive.
That's the bigger part. Like, this drive and then the rest of the time the first team offense was in, they couldn't be stopped unless they stopped themselves. You put the ball on the ground, you're stopping yourself. I mean, they were, in my opinion, as dominant as you can be in a preseason game.
The D word. Wow.
Dominant. They dictated play.
Oh, double Ds.
Double Ds.
You're getting spicy here,
What you
Chase.
gonna do?
We're going to go to the next cut because, again, I wouldn't necessarily call it a highlight because it didn't have an impact on the game. But, oh, boy, when you see this play develop, and then you see it start to break down, and then you see it further develop, you're like, oh, this is going to be something special this year. We're talking about cut 2, Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley.
Lawrence has to just throw it up to Calvin Ridley, and he makes a back-shoulder catch. Was he in bounds? He was not. Pressure was coming from Bradley Chubb.
Had him up in his face, lost a teardrop out there for Calvin Ridley, just missed.
Now, here's the thing.
Aaron, I thought they caught it. I thought he caught it.
Here's the thing. He did catch it.
Oh.
First of all, not only did Calvin Ridley catch it, let me stop. Time out.
Okay.
Can we call a flag here? Go take me back about 5 yards.
All right.
Because
Bring you back.
the play that Sexton ends up calling doesn't do justice to what happened. All right? Trevor takes the snap. I believe it was empty backfield. Coming off the line is a Dolphins passer. I think it was Bradley Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking fifth gear, 100 miles an hour, hands in the air like he just don't care, waving from side to side, fellas. If this was a real game, Trevor Lawrence might be looking at lights out. Like, he had to get rid of that ball quickly. Did not have time to let Ridley go downfield. This was the part that really opened my eyes wide. I watched on my All-22 replay.
Nice.
Trevor throws the ball up. I forget what yard line Ridley is at, but I'm telling you, this man covers 25 to 30 yards running with the ball in the air. With the ball in the air, Case, you're talking about a guy who just started throwing to this man a couple of weeks ago.
Crazy.
They're already on that level.
Mm-hmm.
So Ridley sees the ball in the air, and it's early. And you can tell it's early because Trevor threw it in a way he did not want to. Trevor threw it with Chubb in his face. Trevor's falling backwards, lofts it in the air with touch, Case.
Touch.
People talking Trevor only throws the fastball. Nah. Little off-speed number right here.
Finesse.
He's got the finesse. The touch pass. A little tap on the Y button. Don't hold it down too hard.
I tell you what.
Just a little tap.
I tell you what.
Little
Right
tap.
about that.
Finesse.
Mm-hmm.
So he lofts this pass. Ridley runs like a 5K in between the throw and the catch. Turns around because the throw is back shoulder. So Ridley, if you're watching on TV, he's on the bottom sideline. If you're watching from the end zone, he's running down the field on the left sideline. Turns. The ball is on his back shoulder. Ridley just starts to fall as he's turning, because that's what happens when you're running 70 miles an hour and you turn around. The defensive back grabs Ridley by the shirt. On Ridley's way down, he's got him by the neck.
Says, where you going?
Where you going, bud? Ridley's like, hold my beer, just need to catch this pass. He grabs it. Grabs the pass. He looked like he was almost in. Like, I know that Sexton really jumped on top of that non-call, but it could have taken a couple of minutes to figure out, guys. We could have just been excited in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Circus catch. You know it's going to end up on ESPN. You know it's going to end up on SportsCenter. Like, roll with it, fellas. Come on. That's what you get, Case.
That's what you get.
So, the play didn't count. But how exciting. How exciting. That was a great play, man. All right, cut number 3 is where it starts to get interesting for the Jaguars. Go ahead, Case.
ETN slides in motion, takes the handoff, and powers his way into the end zone. And the Jaguars have a touchdown.
Yeah, you got to like that. That's exactly what you want to see. Everybody making contributions. The first 2 drives from the Jaguars have been nearly flawless.
So,
nearly.
Ultimately, ETN scores the first touchdown of the night. Should be the second touchdown of the night. Second rushing touchdown of the night.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent enough run. Looks like other runs we've seen ETN do. But you're starting to get the idea here that this team kind of wants to push people around a little bit on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you got Trev. You got a young next-gen elite passer. You've got Calvin Ridley. He's a dog. Wide receiver 1. You got Christian Kirk. He was your wide receiver 1 last year. It's not like he forgot who he was. You got Zay Jones. You got Evan Ingram. You've got a legit, possibly elite passing attack. And it still seems to me like the Jags are like, maybe we should just run this thing.
I mean, when you got backs like ETN, got to get him the football.
So there's ETN with his first, I think, and only rushing touchdown of the day. Couple of picks later, we could skip those highlights. Just know that they were fun to watch. Fun picks to watch, including the second one, which I think was Yasir Abdullah.
Yes.
And the thing I love about this pick was it really wasn't as much on Abdullah as it was on Shaq Quarterman. I just don't want to mix up my Shaqs.
That's your right Shaq.
Okay. Quarterman was like unblocked on his way to eat Skylar Thompson's lunch. Skylar Thompson's doing his best necessary roughness impression. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle. Here comes Shaq Quarterman coming at him, 80 miles an hour. He tosses the ball up. Yasir Abdullah's like, don't mind if I do.
I'll just stand right here and catch it.
It's a reception on the day.
Don't mind me.
But it's great to see the rookie out there grabbing a pick. And then cut 6 is another touchdown by another one from the running back room.
Washington and Harris are split. Now Washington goes in motion. Here's the handoff, and there goes Dearness Johnson into the end zone. And the Jaguars have another touchdown.
The offense being able to put points on the board. Dearness Johnson putting in a nice touchdown. He has been great, too.
Here's the thing, man. I know that you saw some wildly besmirching article about Tank Bigsby being a loser at a training camp.
Yes, I did.
But Bigsby has had an amazing training camp. You know who else has had a really amazing training camp? It's Dearness Johnson.
He's been good. What's crazy about it is they've all been good. I think people forget about JaMychal Hasty or just don't want to talk about him. Again, it's a different role, but what he does in pass pro, what he can do catching the football, like they got 4 guys that can play. And listen, I know Dearness Johnson's been good in the preseason. He should be on the team. He should not be taking carries away from ETN, in my opinion.
Should he be taking carries away from Bigsby?
That's the conversation. And I don't know yet.
Ever since Bigsby's been drafted, everyone's been hot to trot on Tank, and he's earned it, right? Again, aside from the besmirching article you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Dude showed he can handle it. He looks like he's going to be a beast in the NFL. But like we're sitting here all smitten with Tank Bigsby. Here comes Dearness Johnson quietly putting in a great camp and scoring, I think, 2 touchdowns this preseason, if not more. It's 2 or 3 touchdowns. Only 2 straight games with a tutty.
Yeah.
So, like, don't look now, but the Jaguars running backs, easily the most improved position group on this team, I believe, from last year to this year.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you went from, no shot at James Robinson, but he just got cut again. You went from James Robinson and Travis Etienne to now Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby and JaMychal Hasty and Dearness Johnson. You like what you have there. That's deep. And that's a position where, again, the value is where it is. Jonathan Taylor's doing his thing, but guys get hurt at that position.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't want that to happen. We saw that happen to Etienne his rookie year where he didn't play a single snap. But now if that something were to happen, somebody goes down, you're like, I like their depth 1 through 4. I think most people would say 1 through 4. You might say 1 through 3. I'm saying 1 through 4 because I like what they got.
Yeah, they got
a good room.
Great running back room, wildly improved from last year. Might be the most improved group of running backs in the entire league from last year to this year.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
It's a good room.
I want to hear from Doug a little bit before we go to break. He's updating us on injuries. You know, the Jags were fortunate in that they ended their training camp without really losing anyone except for one person with a significant injury. All the injuries that they suffered in training camp, these are guys they're going to get back. At least the thought is. But here's an injury update on guys like Devon Hamilton and Ventrell and Foley and Josh and all these guys. Cut one from Doug.
Devon's in the building now. He's here just, as we mentioned last week, he'd be back in the building. And I haven't seen him yet, but I had a message from Ferg that he was in the building. So I'm looking forward to, seeing him. And I believe his wife is with him. So be great to see him. Ventrell is, unfortunately, it's an Achilles. So that's a season-ending injury there with the Achilles. So it's he'll be missed. Foley is progressing nicely. I would anticipate him on the field this week with the group. So looking forward to getting him out there. Josh is still nursing the injury and still kind of week to week with that. Yeah, I mean Cooper's not close yet, so he's still gonna miss some time.
It's pretty sad news on Ventrell Miller.
Yeah, it stinks. There's no other way to put it. I mean, he's flashed, he's made some plays, but the 2 parts of there's multiple parts of this, but the 2 parts that come to my mind are this guy got hurt at Florida. Like, he was hurt. That's like the book in a way.
Yeah.
And I know that Trent Baalke has a history for picking hurt people, so we won't do all that. But, I mean, you hate that this happened, but, I mean, no one's going to sit there and say that it couldn't have happened because this guy does get hurt. The only good news of this, and there's really no good news when somebody gets hurt, so I don't really want to phrase it that way. Don't have a better way to say it, not that eloquent. But that's a room where he wasn't going to be a starter. Let's just put it that way. You've got Aluakin, you got Muma, you got Devin Lloyd. Shaq Quarterman probably now is locked into the team because of the Ventrell Miller thing. That is a deep, deep, deep room. And he was just a luxury, basically, in this year with what you have. Now, does this hurt you going forward into next year with decisions you might have to make on a guy like Aluakin who's going to make a lot of money? Did you think Ventrell Miller could possibly step up after learning this year? Who knows? Now that's all messed up. But for the here and the now, it doesn't really change much on the field because you had your guys already, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. It is sad to me, though. I think he did flash during training camp. I think he was getting a lot of people excited about what the future could possibly hold for a young guy like Ventrell Miller, and now all of that gets paused for the year. Good to hear Foley's expected back, no problem. Josh Wells progressing. Cooper's going to be out a little while.
Which stinks for him.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do there. Like, I wonder if that's an IR thing. I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow by 4.
It was suggested maybe they put him on the short-term IR, however long that is.
Yeah.
What is that, 4 weeks or something like that?
So, I mean, that's...
And good to hear Devon's in the building. He even brought his wife to work today.
That is still the most... I know you were out last week when we were talking about it, but that's still one of the more
weird
interesting
ones.
Like, we still don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows what happened there.
It sounds like we're not going to know. It sounds like one of those things that's not really our business, but just know that he's on the mend.
I mean,
now,
as long as he can get back in at some point.
Right.
Because, boy, he was dominant those first couple
Yes,
of
he
games.
was.
Holy cow.
And one guy that wasn't mentioned by Doug Peterson on that injury rant, but did not play any snaps on Saturday, and I think a lot of us expected him to, was K'Lavon Chaisson. Did you expect to see K'Lavon on Saturday?
I certainly didn't think he was in a position where he had earned enough to not play.
And then when you saw him miss the game, what was your first thought? Because I'll tell you, mine was he's getting traded.
That's what you thought?
If he's not going to play, yes.
Interesting.
Like, if they were going to give him a ton of snaps, I'd be like, they're still kind of looking. If they were going to sit him and announce it before the game, be like, hey, we're going to sit K'Lavon this week, I'd be like, all right, he's locked in. But if you're not going to play him, usually it means that they got a deal worked out or they're working on one.
I would say it's tough because I think they've seen, in my opinion, in the games and whatnot, they've seen enough from other guys to make their decision on Chaisson, I believe.
Doug gave the answer for why he wasn't playing. This was cut to.
He's not dinged up. He just he's got the knee. He's got some like Chad Muma. So I just didn't want to put both those guys out there. The other night and risk anything further, any setbacks going into the season.
Interesting thing. Two things to me. Number one, he almost said he had tendonitis in the knee and then he stopped himself.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's given away too much on Doug's part, or maybe he was just misspeaking in the moment. But tendonitis is one of those things that hurts, but you can kind of play through it. You kind of work through it. The other thing that I thought was interesting was he's basically talking about K'Lavon Chaisson and Chad Muma in the same breath as in like next man up stuff. So why put him in? And so for the people who thought K'Lavon was either getting traded or dropped, like waived, wasn't going to make the 53, might be a little disappointing for you to hear that because this man is in.
You know what that sounded like to me? My favorite Doug Peterson soundbite of all time when they traded James Robinson sounded a bit like this.
One thing that I know that you don't know is there's a lot of information.
Yes.
So, and I'm not going to divulge all the information.
Sure.
It's for me to know,
right,
and for us to know, and all the details on that.
See, that's what that sounded like to me.
a little word salad.
A little. I know, but you don't know. But we're not going to tell you. But we know. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing. You don't know. By the way, both sound bites, 11 seconds. How about that?
Yeah, that's cool.
So
they're kindred spirits and sound bites.
Now, granted, the last time when he said that, the I don't know, you don't know thing, the dude got traded like 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You mentioned James Robinson earlier, too, and I realize that he's not having a good time of it right now. But I did see him on Saturday night, Jets-Giants, and he carried like 8 Jets down the field with him.
And they said, you know what? We saw you carrying the boys, all 8 of them. You got to go.
Well, they're like, you don't look as speedy as you used to. James is like, I had 8 guys on my back.
I had 2 dudes on me, bro. Like, what do you want from me? Holy cow.
2 more cuts from Doug. I know you want to go to break. It's okay. We can go to break. When we come back, somebody asked Doug, if you got to cut your son, would you rather do it or would you rather somebody else? I thought that was a fascinating question. We'll also hear Doug assess the team as we continue the conversation when we come back on the other side of the break. Roster cut predictions. Who's going to make it? Who's not? We got to get down to 53 by 4 p.m. tomorrow. Casey and I have some thoughts on it. It's Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Back in a couple of minutes.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny today, a few showers and storms that'll shift more inland through this afternoon. Temperatures in the 80s at the beaches to the low 90s inland, dropping into the 70s tonight. And partly cloudy tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms increasing from south to north through the day, highs in the low 90s. Then the impacts from Idalia are expected later tomorrow night and especially during the day on Wednesday. A hurricane watch is in effect near and west of Highway 301. A tropical storm watch for Jacksonville and the rest of the area. Wednesday will be windy with bands of heavy rain and storms. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News, Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. For a limited time, get 5 years, 0 interest, only at Beard's Diamonds.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida are fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. If you spot ESPN 690 anywhere in the community, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjax.com.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it. Have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Connecticut K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer, Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Does your digital marketing work? Not sure? Would you like to be? Then reach out to CMG Local Solutions. At CMG Local Solutions, we help you find new customers with a suite of powerful digital marketing services, including search, targeted display, video, and analytics. In fact, we're a Google Premier partner, an honor given only to their top marketing partners. So if you want results you can actually measure, both on the web and on your bottom line, we can give them to you. Learn more about how we can help you at cmglocalsolutions.com.
Denise is a Pilates instructor and a small business owner who built her own studio, so I guess that means she's kind of a real estate mogul too.
And don't forget, a mom as well.
And that community first, we get that, and we get you. We're here to help you live your best life by providing the financial services you need with low fees, convenience, and local decision making.
So just be yourself.
At Community First and on the go. Learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
All offers are with approved credit and not a conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Make this December sales event.
The selection and the savings come to you when you come to Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside. Drive a new Jeep Cherokee 4x4. Get a generous cash allowance and make no monthly payments for the next 90 days. Buy a new Gladiator Rubicon and take advantage of employee pricing.
You pay the same price our employees pay.
Our lenders are waiting to make you a new car loan with rates as low as 2.9%. Ram trucks are sale priced at up to $10,000 off MSRP. Save 10% off a new Compass. See our inventory at jaxwest.com.
Now is the time to trade in and trade up.
Every new vehicle on the lot is sale priced and ready to drive home. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside. Buying a new car or truck is fast and easy. I-295 and Commonwealth Avenue. Westside. Yeah.
Why let a plumbing company tear up your property to repair or replace your old cast iron pipes when Superior Plumbing and Pipelining's no-dig trenchless service can reline them in just one day? Request an estimate now at SuperiorPlumbingJax.com.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Stay with ESPN 690 for your chance to see and hear our special events in the Farah and Farah Performance Studio throughout 2023. Powered by Farah and Farah and ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back back to Brent Friends, ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter and Kasey Kuhrts hanging with you until 6. And then after that, Case, are we getting graced with a little overtime tonight?
You know it.
Nice. Boys are back. Kasey
Yeah, they
Kuhrts,
are.
Brian Middleton will have overtime for you from 6 to 7. Tomorrow, the roster deadline for the Jacksonville Jaguars, trying to cut it down to the 53.
This thing's kind of bopping. Sorry.
You like it? Yeah, it's a slap. You're slap. How do the kids say it? It's a slap? Is it slapping?
It slaps, bro. It slaps.
Do you have a Facebook?
Sound like the bird.
Man, I saw some boomer stuff this week. I'm forgetting what it was, but I saw some boomer stuff and I was like, man, this reminds me of Brent. Oh, it was so boomery. It was great.
Recovering from that rhino accident.
It was crazy. It was something like, what's a Snapchat? I was like, oh, where's Bert?
And we've done that with Bert, unfortunately. It's like, shall I let my kids get Snapchat?
Hey, let me get these Doug cuts in real quick, and then we'll get to the roster predictions. But I thought it was a fascinating question. Obviously, Josh Peterson is in training camp as a tight end. Not expected to be one of the big four that stays on the team if they keep four.
No.
Not expected. You got a good tight end room, too.
Yeah.
So someone asked them, they're like, hey, if your son's got to get cut, do you want to be the guy to cut him? This is cut 3.
I would. I'd want to tell him. Obviously Trent would want to visit with him as well, and I definitely want to talk to him and just let him know. I mean, he's been through this process before, with a couple other teams last year, and it's I'm very familiar with it, obviously, as a former player, and just walk him through the process and let him know that everything's going to be okay.
That's very sweet.
Doug's like, I want to do it.
Yeah, he really sounded a little too excited, didn't he?
Doug's like, I'll do it first.
It's like, Doug, do you want to crush your son's dreams today? Yes, I want to do it.
Yeah.
But he ended up making it a very sweet thing at the end. He's like, hey, I'd put my arm around the guy and let him know this is the journey of life. How about Trent Baalke trying to squeeze in on this father-son moment?
Yeah, Doug's like, yeah, I get Trent in here to beat him up a little bit.
He's a Doug and his son with a loving embrace, and Trent's behind him going, can I have the playbook? Is that, can you guys
give me the playbook?
Can you just give me the playbook and you can get back to your hug? Is that cool?
Give me the playbook.
But Josh, man, he looked pretty good in training camp.
Yeah, I mean, it's the weirdest thing to say about the Jags. They don't have a lot of room. They don't have a lot of space to keep players at any position, really.
This was the wild thing to me as we talking about this.
Okay.
Because we didn't share it with each other what our roster predictions would be.
Right.
I don't know if you have any hot takes or not. I don't really have any hot takes on here.
No.
And I think that was the whole point, is that with this team, specifically this year, hot takes are hard to come by. You might have had a K'Lavon Chaisson hot take, but you don't anymore.
Yeah.
You might have had a Shaq Quarterman hot take, but you don't anymore.
Right.
I don't even know if it was that hot. But it'll be interesting to go through these cases. I want to hear where you're at on a lot of these positions, because I think we'll be in the same spot.
I think, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll start at the top. They're not keeping Nathan Rourke, correct?
Yeah, I don't believe they will, even though I guess teams can now. They can carry a third quarterback. But
he me and Brent did this. He has to also be, like, it's a roster spot.
Right.
It's not an extra.
Right. It's not like a red shirt roster spot.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that. So I don't believe they'll do that, even with some of the injuries that have popped up. All right, so we're on page for 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. No Nathan Rourke. And the consensus, by the way, I collected like 6 or 7 different writers' opinions on the roster, and the consensus agrees with us. Most likely no Nathan Rourke.
They're keeping all 4 backs, I believe. Snoop Connor will get cut, I believe.
Okay, Connor, and then Parrish got cut today already.
Yes, the fullback, Derek Parrish, the 7th rounder. So that's pretty obvious.
But that's Etienne Bigsby, DeErnest Johnson, who, according to Matt Jones, should be starting this year.
And JaMychal Hasty.
Wild stuff going on in our chat right now. And JaMychal Hasty, who some people had question marks on.
I think he's locked in.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. This is, I guess, the first one that gets at least somewhat different with the receivers. I believe they will keep Calvin Ridley. It's just a guess. Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Jamal Agnew.
And then here's where it gets a little dicey for everybody.
Here's where it gets dicey. You go.
I was going to put Tim Jones on there.
Okay.
I think he had done enough in training camp, although in the game Saturday night, while he did have a pretty amazing catch, might have had a touchdown, actually.
Yep.
I do think he also either had a penalty and a drop. I don't know. I thought Tim could have done a lot more through the camp to really secure this spot, and I think it just comes down to the end here. He's got special teams value, ultimately, and I think that works in his favor. So I think Tim Jones stays, and I think Parker Washington gets that last spot. I think they keep 6.
I think they're going to keep 6. I think Parker Washington makes it. When I wrote mine down, if I was them, I would keep Seth Williams. I think he's been good.
He looked good on Saturday, too.
I think every time they throw him the ball, it seems like he's making something happen.
But doesn't that remind you of Tim Jones last year?
It does. It really does. But here's where I think the reason they'll keep Tim Jones over him is because of what he does in the run game.
Yeah.
It's what he did last year. They're comfortable with it. He's been good blocking as a wide receiver in the run game. He plays special teams. I think Seth Williams is probably the better receiver.
But that's not what he's going to be able to do on this roster.
They don't need a receiver.
You got 4 receivers in front of him before you even talk about your tight end and running back who catch the ball.
Right. And if you get to the point where Seth Williams is playing like legitimate wide receiver snaps for you, something has gone terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Multiple guys are hurt.
Yeah. There was a car crash.
Yeah. So, I think Seth Williams is the better receiver, but ultimately I think they'll keep Tim Jones. And I don't think Seth Williams makes it to the practice squad, by the way. I think somebody's going to take
someone's
that guy.
grabbing him?
I would think.
Yeah, there are a few teams out there with wide receiver needs, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in our Zeets segment in the 5 o'clock hour.
The good old Zeets.
Let's go to the tight ends because I feel like the room's pretty much set.
I think they're keeping all 4, including Garrett Prince. I'm kind of 50-50 there, but I mean,
I think they're keeping Prince. There was a lot of pro-Prince propaganda coming out of training camp this year.
It feels like, again, it's a spot that like you won't see. And then Luke Farrell was balling on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Ingram, Strange, Farrell are locked in. I think they're keeping Prince.
Yeah, me too.
Offensive line is interesting because you've got moves. Yes, they're keeping Cam, but like he's suspended, so you
he's
don't
not
have to worry
going to
about
play.
that.
Right.
But Ben Barch is back and looks good. I've got him at, which there should be no surprise, Walker Little, Ben Barch, Blake Hance, Luke Fortner. I have Tyler Shatley. I don't know where that stands still. I don't think any of us do with the AFib situation. So if Shatley wants to play, he's going to make the team. I just don't know where they are on that.
This is what Doug said today because they asked about how long it is until Shatley can get hit. I guess the word was he had to stop taking blood thinners for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I think the quote was 3 weeks. They asked Doug about it. Doug's like, you're asking me questions I don't know the answers to. Sorry, guys. So he's not coming through on a timeline. They then followed up with, do you think he'll be ready for the start of the regular season? He seemed pretty resolute in saying he did.
That's good.
So I do think they think they'll have Shatley to begin the year. I'm with you. I got Little, Barch, Fortner, Sheriff, Harrison, Hance, Shatley, Brewer, and Hodges, even though he's hurt. Cam Robinson suspended. Josh Wells cut, although maybe when he recovers from that injury, they're still talking to him.
I think the Hodges thing is interesting. If they put him on IR, then you got somebody else. And I have Cole Van Lanen and Josh Wells. I also have Sheriff and Harrison.
A lot of people like Van Lanen.
I just think if there's a position that they need to be extra in, it's this one.
It makes sense.
So,
and by the way, this team, even though we talk a lot about the offensive line and the struggles we've seen, or maybe the question marks, this is a good pass blocking group.
It is.
It's a really good pass blocking group, and you got a lot of pass catchers on the team, and you got a great pass thrower on the team, so great. But, the team has also shown the ability to run, and you got that stacked running back room, so I'd be curious to see how they gel together in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I got him at 9 offensive linemen, plus a suspended Cam, plus what I believe will be a IR Hodges.
We're the same so far. I don't think we have any disagreements.
Interesting. Defensive line. I got Roy Robertson Harris, clearly. Yep. Devon Hamilton.
Yep.
I got my boy Ledbetter making the team. I think he was balling. Obviously Foley. And then I kind of grouped everybody in here. I got Gotsis. I got Trayvon, Josh. I got Abdullah. I don't think that's really a hot take.
I did not count those guys on the defensive line.
I did all in one.
Okay.
And then I got Lacey as well.
Well, I have Lacey. I have Gotsis. I have Ledbetter. And then I was curious about Vohasek. So he was a rookie this year.
Yes.
7th rounder. But possibly showed enough to stay on the team.
Yeah, I think
it's not a deep group.
It's not. I think it's questionable, but I think it depends on Devon Hamilton. If you think Devon Hamilton's going to be ready to play week 1, I don't think you need to do that. I think Ledbetter's the leader in the clubhouse, if you will, if they're keeping one of those guys.
I'd agree with that.
I think Gotsis and Lacey are going to be in the driver's seat for that next spot up. I think they do end up getting kept. So I don't hate it. I think it depends on Devon Hamilton.
Outside linebacker is where I put the other guys you were talking about. I got Walker, Allen, Chason, and Abdullah. You got Smoot on the pup.
Yep.
And then Jordan Smith, the odd man out.
Yeah, I don't have Chason on mine.
You're cutting him.
I am.
Why keep him out then?
I mean, they're keeping him. I'm just saying what I would do, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I assume he will make the team. I forgot about Smoot. He'll be on IR.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, there's not much else there. You're keeping pretty much everybody that flashed.
Right. Same thing about inside linebacker. You got Foye, Devin Lloyd, Muma. Miller was on track.
Yep.
But he's now not going to be on the roster with that Achilles. So you got Shaq Quarterman most likely taking his place.
Yep.
And then the question is Caleb Johnson. Are they keeping 5 of these guys or what?
I don't think you need to. I think 5 was in question when it was Shaq, who's made plays for you and who's been here a long time and does play special teams and all that stuff. But now that you don't have Ventrell Miller, I think you're comfortable with Shaq being your 4th guy. And clearly you're comfortable with Josh on the outside. Clearly you're comfortable with Abdullah in the outside. So I think they go with 4.
I had the team sticking with Caleb Johnson only because Heath Farwell, was it last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago. He said Caleb Johnson's one of his core 4 on special teams. Mm-hmm. And so the guy has really carved out a role for himself, independent of linebacker, that I think makes him a little harder to dispense with. I think maybe they carry 5 on this one.
Interesting.
Corners.
I got Tyson, obviously. Darius, obviously. I got Herndon, obviously.
Now here's where it gets a little messy.
I got Gregory Jr.
Me too.
I got Braswell.
Ooh.
And I got Monteric Brown. I have him keeping all of them.
Now, the consensus says Braswell stays on the team.
Interesting.
I say Clay Brooks instead of Braswell.
See, here's my thing with Clay Brooks. There's been some stuff this offseason that we haven't really talked about.
Some stuff.
Multiple times.
Still on the team, though.
I'm still on the team.
Wouldn't you have dropped him already if it was an issue?
Yes, but I would also say, is he doing enough that you're like, yeah, if this happens again, like he's performing enough on the field that it's worth all this? I don't think so. And special teams, I get it. I think Braswell's a better option, and if I'd rather take my chance with Monteric Brown.
The consensus agrees with you on Braswell. That's for sure. So that's where we depart right there. Safeties is pretty straightforward. No surprises here, right? Jenkins, Cisco, Wingard, and Johnson. Are you keeping Hallett and Thomas?
I am keeping Daniel Thomas. He's been here. He's a good special teamer. But again, I also, on mine, I don't have Chase on. So, that's where my roster spot comes from, that maybe you don't have one.
Yeah, if I'm keeping the extra linebacker, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, and then 3 specialists, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, in that, they do have to cut some good guys, but they didn't have a lot of spots up for grabs. I think the real thing to watch is what they do at corner and then that last receiver. But again, that last receiver isn't playing. That's just the part of it. And we talk about it, and it's fun to talk about. But whether it's Tim Jones, whether it's Jacob Harris, Seth Williams, they ain't playing. Not wide receiver. They might play on special teams. They might get in there to block a little bit. That's why I think Tim Jones has the advantage, even though I don't think he's better.
Because he just offers more.
Yeah.
From the role he'll likely be playing.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see Tim Jones in real game action through this season as well. You were real hot to trot on Tim Jones last year.
Boy, Tim Jones was the man last year. Now I'm trying to cut him.
I definitely think he's earned his way, though, especially this season. Offensively, the Jaguars look like damn near elite.
They were dominant.
It's a good roster.
They were dominant on Saturday night.
Independent of the game film, it's a good roster. You got great skill players on this team. Got a great quarterback. Offensive line's going to have to show and prove a little bit. Man, I know you don't like PFF.
Oh, no.
But, oh, boy, did I agree with PFF on Anton Harrison this past weekend.
What was it?
That was a rough look for the big man.
Yeah, What'd PFF give him? Do you have it up?
No, but I'll pull it up. It was like a tale of a tale of two cities when it comes to his grades. He had a much higher, I think, run block or pass block grade than the other grade.
Well, this is no surprise.
Yeah. One of those grades, though, was down in like the 40s, I think.
Yeah. Is that...
But he also had a big penalty at the line. He basically, it would have been a sack had he not grabbed the dude by his jersey.
Well, grab him. In the preseason, grab him.
Yeah. Maybe but that would have been 2 sacks for Trev. I don't think Trev had one. If Trev got sacked once, he got sacked once. But I actually don't think he had 1 sack. But he would have gotten sacked twice if not for penalties.
Right. I mean, the question will be, is that because he's playing through the shoulder? Is there something more there?
Yeah, who knows?
I think as a whole, though, I'm impressed with Anton Harrison playing right tackle for the Jags after not playing it in college.
Yeah, I mean, so far, the amount of pressures in the preseason, he played something like 50-some-odd snaps, close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think 22 and 25 snaps on the 2 games he played. And I think there was only 1 pressure. So, that's pretty good.
Between the joint practices, the games, I feel significantly better than I did when they made the pick. Let's put it that way.
Significantly better.
I was out on the pick. Keep in mind, I'm still not thrilled with it when you see what some of these other guys have been doing.
Even after all this conversation about the offensive line, even after all this conversation about the lack of depth and guys having to move around and all this stuff, you're still not comfortable with the offensive lineman pick?
They no doubt needed an offensive lineman is clear now. But again, I think there were some other options they could have took there. Could they have got an offensive lineman another way? Could they have done a magnitude of other things? Yes, they could have. This is the route they went. And I think overall in the preseason, it's looking good so far.
It is interesting to see picks around that pick and how they've developed.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked a lot about Deonte Banks, who's looked tremendous.
Sure.
But then Maisie
Smith?
Yes, the Cowboys kid.
Yes.
He's looked atrocious. The reports out of camp on him are not good. Not good at all. Tight end taken around that number as well. Kincaid, the reports on him is that he's looking great. Do you think it's similar to when Trayvon versus Aiden Hutchinson at the 1 that you look at Trayvon, you always got to wonder how Aiden looks when you look at this Anton Harrison pick? Are you going to compare it to anybody? It's not like there was another lineman around that number.
Right. That's why it's tough, because anytime you're comparing an offensive lineman to anybody, unless you're using PFF, you don't really have anything other than your eyes to tell you what's going on. But I think for the position they were in and the positions that they needed to fill, now granted, a player like Gregory Jr. might make that all go away if he can fill in and be the nickel and be good, and Darius Williams is still good and Tyson Campbell takes that next step. It's easier to forget. But Deonte Banks, who was picked in the spot, who I wanted them to pick, is an all-pro, then yeah. But in terms of a guy like Kincaid, I'm not going to do that because I don't think they were never picking Kincaid.
There wasn't really a spot for him. We kind of daydreamed a little bit in the offseason about could you imagine Ingram and Kincaid lining up across from each other, but it's just not a thing that was going to happen.
So I think that's tough. I mean, the only one for me, and everyone is going to feel a different type of way, but for me, I'll monitor what Banks does because that's the guy that I couldn't believe was there, and I can't believe they didn't pick him still.
Yeah. So. Yeah, before we go to break, you asked me about Anton Harrison's grade from PFF, and I told you it wasn't going to be pretty. It is not pretty.
No.
So for the game, they gave him a 60.5 run grade on 14 run blocking opportunities.
60.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had 11 pass blocking opportunities.
Oh, no.
One of which was negated by a penalty, which would have been a sack. I don't know how much you know about PFF grades, but they don't just say, oh, he got a penalty, chalk him up in the penalty box. They also go, had he not done the penalty,
he got blitzed.
Would he have given the sack? And so that is extra negatives as well.
Ooh.
In the pass block, they gave him a 20.4 out of 100. That's a rough grade.
It's the preseason.
49.9 for the whole game. He had a much better game 1.
Again.
Much better game 1.
Is it the shoulder? Now, there's a lot, I guess, there. Is it the shoulder? And if the shoulder is going to be more of a concern than they're letting on, that might be a problem. But they're going to have to tell us that. Or we'll see it against Indianapolis.
We'll see it.
But
sure.
2 weeks to heal up a little bit. I don't know what, again, we don't know anything about the shoulder. We just know he has to battle through it.
He's got to battle through it, yeah.
So hopefully it's not the shoulder and it's just he had a bad day. Honestly.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell, man.
Undefeated in the preseason.
Champions, come on.
Come on.
You're listening to Brent Friends on ESPN 690. I'm Aaron Schachter. That man, the optimistic one, he's Kasey Kuhrts.
It's new. New optimism.
Trying it on.
For the boys.
For the new season. I like it.
Here we go.
You're in game shape, Case.
You know me.
We're going to take a quick break. A little Sports Center action. We'll come back, update you on the latest cuts from the Jags and see a few more players were let go. We've also got a recap of anything you missed in the first hour. The latest on, is it Tropical Storm Idalia? Not that you're here for that, but I do want to give you a little update. And more than that to come with our guy, Ducky Betts, talking about season-long bets next hour.
I like it.
So we'll get that done right here on Brent and Friends, ESPN 690.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
Pass to Celsius. 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 Still Celsius. 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 Goal. 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 Incredible. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the MLS.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned is fighting inflation and saving you even more. That pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla you want to buy, it's not $1,000 down. Now it's just $500 down and $288 a month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma, now just $500 down and $388 a month. With over 400 used cars in stock, plus more than 100 vehicles under $18K, Arlington's fighting inflation and saving you big time. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/offers for full details.
If you're about to pop the question, celebrate an anniversary or birthday.
Stop. Don't shop the large chain jewelry stores.
Beards Diamonds has been Jacksonville's diamond store for nearly 40 years.
And now it's Beards Diamonds' most exceptional finance offer of the year. 5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
Shop Beards Diamonds' everyday low price on anything in the store, or shop and now purchase online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Divide your total price by 60, and that's your monthly payment with absolutely nothing down.
How about a $6,000 three-stone designer setting?
You pay only $100 a month.
Or a $4,500 one-carat diamond solitaire pendant necklace.
You pay just $75 a month.
You can even choose from a large selection of Rolex watches and spread your payments out for 5 years and pay absolutely nothing in interest.
But hurry, just like an afternoon shower, these savings will be gone.
Shop and now purchase online at beardsdiamonds.com or at the St. John's Town Center.
Before you buy anywhere, shop Beards Diamonds.
Denise is a Pilates instructor and a small business owner.
And a mom, too.
And at Community First, we get that. We get you.
So you can just be yourself.
To get the financial services you need, learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: getting projects done right with Behr Premium Plus interior paint
and football.
That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. And with Behr's wall-to-wall coverage and long-lasting durable finish, you'll spend less time worrying about your walls,
which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Behr and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
At the UPS Store, you can ship it all. We're your bulky sports equipment shipping store. Your heavy luggage shipping store. Your fancy art shipping store. We're even your I can't believe it's already time for back to school shipping store. So visit your neighborhood We Ship It All store for dependable UPS shipping with easy-to-use tracking and competitive rates. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
You don't even like your quarterback.
Kasey Kuhrts.
You don't even like your team.
And Aaron Schachter.
I don't even like myself, guys. Do you know me?
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Godsmack. Coming to Daly's Place on September 6th with special guest Flatback. And ESPN 690 has your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. Visit the contest page at ESPN690.com and enter to win now.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Christine Lisi. Interesting quarterback news out of Arizona. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Cardinals won't activate Kyler Murray off the PUP list by tomorrow's deadline, so he'll miss the first 4 games of the regular season. Cards also cut Colt McCoy, so it'll be Josh Dobbs or rookie Clayton Tune starting the season opener. The U.S. locked up a second-round spot at the FIBA World Cup by beating Greece 109-81. Another strong performance from Austin Reeves off the bench, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He's certainly been a hit at this tournament. ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
This guy is beloved. Now, he was beloved because he's a Laker, but he's winning over people, and especially his teammates, with how awesome his play has been. He comes in these games, and he is absolutely a difference maker right away. He draws fouls. He defends multiple positions. He doesn't foul. He does spectacular plays.
Team USA finishes up pool play Wednesday, then is on to round 2. Blue Jays third baseman Matt Chapman's landed on the injured list with a sprained right middle finger, jammed the finger, returning a dumbbell to its rack in the team's weight room. Toronto, 2.5 games out of the final AL wildcard spot.
When it comes to hiring, you don't need to be doing all the searching, screening, and interviewing yourself. What you need is Indeed, the end-to-end solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Welcome back to Brent Friends, ESPN 690. My name is Aaron Schachter. This adorable little fella right beside me, behind double-plated glass, is Kasey Kuhrts.
Hello.
What's up, Case?
What's up, buddy?
Shout out to Chip and Teresa for making such a wonderful little boy. Just trying to give him a little credit. Gotta give him credit, Case.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really your parents should be thanking me.
They're not here. I'm speaking on behalf of them.
Fair enough. Welcome back to Brent and Friends.
You really threw me for a loop.
And what a day it is, Case. You know, it seems like every time we got a storm heading at us, it starts to rain before the storm, and everyone goes, oh, the storm is here.
Yep.
Well, my friend Rich down the hall over at OKV, Reg Jones, he's a bit of a weather nerd.
Oh.
I mean, really. Like, he goes in a full Urkel mode as soon as there's a thunderstorm somewhere.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Good old Rich.
Rich. So, he tells me this is Hurricane Franklin, which is way out in the Atlantic. It's not going to touch us, but that's a big bad boy, too. Like a Cat 3 or 4, something like that. No, Idalia is what we got to worry about. That's going to come towards us all day tomorrow and then really start to impact us. It seems like Wednesday morning. That may change with the forecast. We are technically, our area is in the cone of uncertainty, but it looks like this will be more of a wind event than a rain event. Much more breezy than you're used to. Mm-hmm. It will be wet, though. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be dry. Usually in storms like this, we're going to be on the eastern.
I don't know. I have no clue.
We're going to be on the eastern side of the eye wall.
I am not.
And I believe that means you got to watch out for tornadoes spinning
Smart.
up. Yeah.
No.
Well, I could have told you that. It's got nothing to do with the weather, Case.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nothing to do with the weather.
Always here for support, buddy. I appreciate you.
The bottom line is this, folks. It seems like everything in Northeast Florida is going to shut down over the next few days. You got Duval County public schools are closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're trying to get some parents in a lot of trouble, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're stuck in your house with no electricity with small kids 3 days. There might be some misdemeanors or felonies committed. Man, my wife's already yelling at me. I was like, hope you got board games and stuff.
A little Uno action in the candlelight.
I was like, I'm an essential employee. I'm a first responder. According to the state of Florida, I need to be at work.
Yeah, boy. Entertaining people on 96.9 The Eagle.
But that is when the effects are really going to start to come through this area, according to the forecast. Wednesday, early morning, throughout the afternoon, into the early evening.
You said early morning?
Early morning, yeah.
Isn't that when you're on?
Who?
Aaron
Yes.
in the morning.
That's it.
96.9.
This lady will be excited.
Rock'em boy.
Rock'em boy.
All right.
She wouldn't be excited if ABC Liquors goes out of stock before the storm hits.
cow.
But she would be excited for a couple of days of hanging out.
All right.
In any case.
All right.
In any case.
That happened.
That did happen. I'm just saying it's going to be a little bit squirrely on Wednesday, but city's going to shut down. Clay County just announced they're shutting down schools.
Nice.
Although I'm going to have to relook that up for you to get the exact days. I saw it on my way back into the studio.
Wednesday.
Wednesday is the word?
Wednesday is the word. That's what they put up on the little bottom line.
And I haven't seen St. Johns County yet. I'm not sure if they made that announcement. You'll double check for me while we're in the seg.
Okay.
But Tropical Storm Idalia is what we'll be waiting for and who is on the way. But, before Idalia gets here, Case, we got somebody else waiting in the wings.
I see what you did there. Very nice.
This is not a storm. Unless you think money, making it rain from the sky is a storm, because that's what this guy will do for you with your sports bets, your friendly wagers with units. Maybe?
Love it.
There it goes. What's up, Duck? Ducky Betts joins us on ESPN 690 on Brent Friends. Ducky, welcome back, bro.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. How you guys been?
It's been a whole diddly-dang off season.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the fam's doing. Last you left us, you had a baby duck in the house.
Oh, yeah, it's been great, man.
I don't believe you for a second.
Good. Yeah, good.
It's been
the
great.
baby's been great, man. It's tough, but,
There it is. Yeah, that's what
you
It's been great and tough. That's good.
But, best experience ever, so I recommend.
Isn't it funny? This is Case. You don't understand this yet, but the people will tell you this. They'll be like, hey, man, don't have a kid. It's awful, but also it's the best thing I've ever done in my entire life.
You guys do that a lot, actually.
We do.
To me, you say that a lot all the
really
time.
Do. We're just trying to be real with you, bro.
By the way, to close the loop, St. Johns County schools close starting tomorrow. So you got to watch them kids, my boy. Speaking of kids,
I'm working.
Better go parent your kids. Anyway, we move on from that. But Tuesday, St. Johns County. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Duval, and then Clay Wednesday.
So is St. John's announced Wednesday yet?
It just says starting Tuesday. That's all I know.
Okay.
But that means them kids ain't going to school tomorrow.
Well, I have a feeling they'll be closed Wednesday as well.
Yeah, likely. All right.
All
Sports betting.
Back to Duck. Ducky, it's been a wild offseason for a lot of teams, but not really for the Jaguars. Jaguars have been very quietly just shaving the little hairs off the edges. Not really giving a haircut down the middle. You're not getting a new Mr. T shave over here. You're just getting a little cleanup on the mutton chops. They got all their positions pretty much all settled. Me and Case just went through the roster predictions. The deadline coming tomorrow.
What'd you guys end up on?
At 4 p.m. We ended up with just over 50 players, Duck. As everybody else will. But the reality is there weren't very many question marks, and at least in terms of the big headlines and skill players on this team. I'm curious if you're seeing those question marks or lack thereof translate to the betting markets when it comes to the Jaguars.
Yeah, so I've been looking into the betting market for the Jaguars a little bit. My only problem with them is that they're a little juiced up, huh? Like, the win division, they're
Too
minus
much heat.
175.
How much? Minus
yeah,
what?
They're at 175 or like in that 175 to 200 range. Like They're in that range. I actually think that they are the most favored team to win their division across all of the different divisions, which is bad.
That's terrifying.
Not a good thing. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Then the win total's at 10. There's pretty much no room for error here for the Jaguars, which makes it a little scary for me. And this is me coming as a neutral party. I'm not a Jaguars fan, but I was last year because, I bet them pretty heavily and they made out like bandits for us. But this year, it's going to be, I think, a little tiny bit tougher. The variance has risen definitely because of the division. You have two rookie quarterbacks and then one potential rookie quarterback coming in Tennessee. But the schedule makers didn't do that many favors for the Jags. I don't know if you guys saw it, but in terms of rest advantage and stuff, they're pretty much 26 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Rest advantage.
It's rough.
So they're pretty low there. I think 3 of their games, they have a less rest advantage than their opponents. They have a negated bye week. They play the 49ers, who also come off of a bye. They play 2 road games on a short week. So it's going to be tough. But now here's the but. The good but is that, Doug Peterson is the man. And Trevor Lawrence has, pretty much risen now and is becoming a potential top 5 quarterback. So I think that in the betting market, what you want to look for is avoid all that win total stuff because you're not going to get much value on that. You're not going to get any value on them to win the division. You're not getting any value on them making the playoffs. What you're going to look for is maybe a number 1 seed, right? And that's me, just speculating here, but that's basically the top of the top. You're going to look at number 1 seed. You're going to look at Trevor MVP. You're going to look for things like that. If there's a bet, anything on Tank Bigsby to like lead rookies in rushing touchdowns, something like that you're going to look for value-wise, that's kind of what you're going to try to aim for there. Also, Calvin Ridley to lead the league in receiving yards, right? So these are the kind of bets that you're going to kind of look for in the betting market that you're going to actually find value on the Jaguars.
Yeah, because I imagine it's a trendy pick right now. All the bets you want everyone to stay away from. It's trendy to say the Jags are going to win the AFC South because everyone's now believing it. You don't need to be a sports expert to see that the Colts and the Texans and the Titans are not in great shape on their roster in terms of like verified superstars. That's not the case. So obviously it's a little hot out there, but you said the number 1 seed bet has value. What's that look like to you?
I would say like a very small sprinkle. I wouldn't put, I wouldn't put my 401k on it or anything like that, man. but yeah, I would say that it has a little bit of value. Last I checked, it was in the plus 1,000. I believe. I would have to double check that. But yeah, I mean, for sure, it has a little bit of value. Because there's always a chance for them to have a run and for Trevor Lawrence to ascend to the next level with this offense. My biggest concern, and I'm sure that you guys have spoken to death about it on this radio show, is the offensive line.
Yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion for sure.
Yeah, so that concerns me a little bit. I think PFF ranked them in the bottom 6, 7, maybe.
Might be worse than that,
sure. Yeah, it might be worse than that, but definitely if they figure it out somehow in the offensive line, because, the rankings preseason are always, they're kind of just, a crapshoot. Like, you never know what you're going to get, right? So, yeah, I mean, you never know. Maybe they gel somehow and they're able to protect Trevor a little bit, or maybe he just gets the ball out quick to Ridley in space, and they just zoom out. Because the offensive weapons, absolutely love it. I love that they're going to lessen Etienne's load a little bit, and they're going to put a little Tank Bigsby in the red zone. I like the thought of that because, hopefully they get some injury luck and stuff like that here. I like Josh Allen on the defensive end. I think he's going to have a decent year, especially against the terrible offensive lines in the AFC South. So, yeah, I mean, you guys definitely have a shot this year. I just think it's going to come down to just, I guess, injury luck and Trevor really, really taking over and becoming a top 5 guy like he probably can be. So he might have an MVP caliber season. So if you do believe that they're going to be up there, then I definitely would suggest sprinkling on him to win MVP.
Duck, if we were reaching into Aaron Schachter's Venmo account and getting the loads of money that are in there, and I gave it...
You'd be hitting those fingertips on the bottom of that bad boy right now.
Maybe we're selling more Ethereum or whatever. But if I were giving you free money from Aaron Schachter, but I said, Duck, you have to spend it on the Jags somewhere in a preseason starting bet, where would you put it? Value aside, whatever. The way that you are using your free money I'm giving you from Schachter.
Well, then you can't say value aside because that's what Duck does.
Can I break it up?
He's efficient.
You can break it up.
Break it up. You got
into like 4 different bets or something?
You can, absolutely.
I would break it up.
You have $1,000 budget. Go ahead.
Okay, $1,000 budget. I would break it up into 4 pieces. I would do a fourth on Trevor MVP. Why not? A fourth on Calvin Ridley to lead the league in receiving yards. I feel like that's a decent bet if you're going to stack those 2. Then I would hedge a little bit by putting Jags to miss the playoffs because it's plus 200-ish, I believe.
Okay.
And then for the fourth one, we could do a exact division 1-2 Jags Titans second place.
I like that. The division 1-2 is what else I was going to ask you about because with everything, I mean, the Jags are the heavy favorites. We just talked about it. Is there value, do you think, on anybody else? Like, I don't believe in Tennessee. I don't even think they're going to finish second.
That's wild, by the way.
Do you see a number there that's like, you know what? There's too much value here. Anybody in that division, even to finish second.
It scares me that the public is so heavy on Tennessee. I don't know if you look around on Twitter, you see everyone, Titans win. Titans are going to win this division. So it makes me I really do think that the Jags will probably run away with the division. But if I had to pick somebody else, I don't hate, like, I like Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be decent. I I might sprinkle on him to win Rookie of the Year for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I just don't believe in their team. I think maybe the Texans have a decent defense. I would say that they're yeah, like they have a decent defense. Maybe they'll try a little harder. You know, they're gonna let C.J. Stroud do whatever he wants. He has the ultimate leash because what are they gonna play? What's this guy's name with the big head?
Davis Mills.
I was going to say Brent Martineau.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so Texans are sneaky, but I would rather just play them over on their win total. They're going to try because they're also not tanking. They don't have a first-round pick, and they don't want the Cardinals to have 2 top 5 picks. I wouldn't think that they would want that. So I would say that they're going to try the absolute hardest. And they have a lot of variance on their team because you don't know what you're going to get with the new head coach and all that. So, but I think the way to attack them would be Coach of the Year for their new head coach.
Ooh, for the Texans.
Yeah, because I feel like it's always a rookie head coach that wins these awards, isn't it?
That's true. Because
at least it feels that way.
No, you're right. You're right. Doug Peterson should have won last year. Brian Dable ends up with it. But you said something that intrigued me, and an argument I've had with Aaron multiple times on the win-loss of the Texans. Are you in favor? You think it's not high enough? Where do you think that ranks with the Texans over-under wins?
I would say it's like it feels correctly priced.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think it's 6.5, right?
Yes.
It's way high.
Yeah, it feels 6 point. Yeah, it's like if you're fading that team, then hit the all under. You might as well. You might as well hit the under 5.5, under 4.5, stack it, right? If you're skeptical and you're like, this intrigues me a little bit. They're going to try really hard. They don't have a first round pick. They're not tanking, right? Then hit the over, sprinkle I'm talking about like a tenth of a unit for them to win the division. 'Cause you never know, right? Football is the craziest sport on earth.
It's true.
Like you never know. One injury to anybody and the entire thing falls on its head, right? Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. Who do they have at quarterback? They're going to win 4 games. They're going to end up with the first pick.
Or make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. We saw that last year.
Or somehow make it, like the Eagles did when Carson Wentz got hurt. So you never know with football. It's so crazy sometimes. So, I mean, it's always worth sprinkling on certain situations that have a lot of variance.
Case, you're telling me the Titans aren't gonna finish a year in second place?
What? Huh? Oh, the Titans aren't? Yes, that is what I'm telling you.
You're telling me you don't even think they're going to finish in third? You're sitting here talking about the Texans and the Colts?
Ducky was talking about the Colts. That was Ducky. You didn't hear me talking about no Colts.
Okay.
I am in on...
I don't like the Colts.
He likes Anthony Richardson.
Okay, that's fair.
I just like him. Yeah, I like the player.
I'm in on the Texans.
North of 6.5 wins? That was the Jags total last year before the season.
I'm in on the Texans.
Wow.
If they can protect him, he's...
Yeah, that's key.
It's proven. We've seen it in the preseason. It's exactly what the book was. If they can't protect him, he's going to look awful. You saw what happened last night?
C.J. Stroud, yeah.
Now, granted, they were going against twos. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but they had their first-team offensive line in there. He was protected, and he was balling. If they can keep this guy upright, he's going to play. He's going to play. I just don't know if they can, to be honest. But I'm in. I'm in on the Texans.
11 of 18 for 89 yards. That was C.J. Stroud.
He was cooking.
Preseason. 1 touchdown.
They're definitely
1
improved.
interception.
If you look at their offseason acquisitions, they got Denzel Perriman, Dalton Schultz, George Fant at tackle, Robert Woods. They got a bunch of people. So the Texans, I don't know. They're one of those teams with a lot of variance. You never know what you're going to get from them.
I agree with that,
especially with the rookie quarterback. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's
Here's
why
what you
the
guys are
variance
forgetting.
has value.
Here's what you guys are forgetting. All new coaching staff in Houston. Rookie signal caller. Rookie skill position players. A guy in Dameon Pierce who you liked what you saw last year, but then he got hurt. A defense with question marks.
I like the defense.
You're sitting here going 7 wins or more, Bubba.
Hey, I didn't say or more. I said you just got to get to 6.5. Tied twice. Give me a half. I don't care.
What do you think they're winning this year, realistically?
7.
You think they're winning
7 on the dot. 7 on the dot.
7 on the dot.
I say the Texans don't win more than 4 games.
Ain't no way. This is the NFL.
You would take 5.5.
Yeah, if I'd taken 7, I would certainly
take 5. 6.5?
Yes.
Put it on the board, 6.5?
Put it on the board, 6.5.
Put it on the board. Let's go. Put it on the board. You're going to give me some Ethereum on this one.
I have a fun head-to-head for you guys for the Jags.
All right, what do we got?
Travis Etienne versus Tank Bigsby, most rushing touchdowns.
Oh.
That's fun.
I got to go Bigsby on this one.
Oh, okay. I'm in. I'll take Etienne.
Look, it's hard because, look, Etienne's going to be on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
But rushing touchdowns, I got to imagine the Jags are going to be in the red zone a lot more this year than last year. Not all of it's going to be a 40-yard pass to Ridley.
I agree with that.
Oh, there's a tough one. I'm going Bigsby.
Tank is going to score. There's no doubt. I'll take Travis.
Wow.
Put it on the board.
Put it on the board. Etienne. All right. First Bigsby. That's the second straight year we did an Etienne bet.
Yeah, you got rocked last year.
I did. I got housed.
You did.
But who saw Evan Ingram having a career year last year?
Me, apparently.
I guess he did.
And you also bet on a running back to get wide receiver numbers.
Well, he's that good at the
I'm
pass
just
catching.
saying that's what happened to you. Anyway.
500 yards. I thought he was going to get 550 yards. It's not wide receiver numbers. I didn't expect Evan Ingram to ball out like he did. Silly me.
Silly you.
Dumb me.
Yeah.
Ducky, you hold on for us. We're going to come back to you in the next segment. All right, bud?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll put Duck on hold. Case, me and you, we're going to go embrace each other in a strictly platonic way.
What?
During the commercial break. But when we come back,
okay,
more bets from around the league.
I like it.
And some award superlatives as well. We'll be right back on the Brent Friends radio show, ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny today, a few showers and storms that'll shift more inland through this afternoon. Temperatures in the 80s at the beaches to the low 90s inland, dropping into the 70s tonight. And partly cloudy tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms increasing from south to north through the day, highs in the low 90s. Then the impacts from Idalia are expected later tomorrow night and especially during the day on Wednesday. A hurricane watch is in effect near and west of Highway 301. A tropical storm watch for Jacksonville and the rest of the area. Wednesday will be windy with bands of heavy rain and storms. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News, Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. For a limited time, get 5 years, 0 interest, only at Beards Diamonds.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville and all of Northeast Florida are fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. If you spot ESPN 690 anywhere in the community, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it, have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Connecticut K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer, Florida license number CFC 1428211.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
Main office, Jacksonville. ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Winter, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial ** Invest from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who served us. We provide custom-fit wheelchairs for veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. When they are denied the services they deserve, we stand in the gap. To join the mission and support America's heroes, you can visit our website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org. We are a 501c3 organization and part of the combined federal campaign. Visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Mary on Demand is live. Start your marijuana education journey today. Learn at your own pace and check out the Medical Marijuana Education Series. You decide what you'd like to learn and when with Mary on Demand. Visit mary.famu.edu. That's mmeri.famu.edu. And remember, recreational marijuana is still illegal in Florida. Mary, educate, learn, talk.
Make the superior choice when you hire a plumber. From unclogging drains and water heater repairs to complete cast iron pipe replacements, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has you covered. Request a free estimate from Superior Plumbing and Pipelining at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690. Welcome back. It's Brent Friends Radio Show, ESPN 690. I'm Aaron Schachter. With me is Kasey Kuhrts. And with us is one Ducky Betts. Those of you who may not know, Ducky is our go-to on all things betting. We actually found him through an ESPN article last year, Case, if you don't remember. Ducky had this thing. He carved out this niche where he was like the go-to guy on kicker props. And I read this article and I was like, kicker props is a wild world. You got to really love betting to go deep into kicker props. But then as we spoke to Duck, I realized it's actually kind of a safe bet a lot of the times.
Yeah.
One of those bets you can kind of count on.
You got to know what you're doing.
And you got to follow Duck. And you can find him on Twitter at Ducky_bets, on Patreon as well at Ducky Bets, and on ESPN 690. Welcome back, Duck.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Those kicker props are fun, man.
They are
fun. One of those markets that nobody bets. You get good value on it. You kind of beat the market on it. So it's some fun stuff there.
It's kind of the opposite of what we were talking about last segment with the Jags. It seems like everyone's hot to trot on the boys this year.
Oh yeah.
So trying to figure out which bets to stay away from, which bets are smart, which are a value, which are not. We just ran through a couple of Jags and AFC South ones as we had our conversation. Case, I got you on 6.5. You're taking the over on wins for the Texans. I thought that meant you got into the gummies a little bit. Maybe stay away from those before you do the show.
Did not get into the gummies.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
And then ETN versus Bigsby rushing touchdowns. I got Bigsby. You got ETN.
Yes.
All right.
Look at us.
Look at us going. Duck, what else you got for us, man?
I mean, you want to dip into these awards?
Yeah, let's go around the league. Let's talk about some other teams.
Yeah, why not? Let me see. I'm pretty high on the Cowboys this year. I don't know
to
how
do
you guys feel
what
about
though?
that.
Like to go to the playoffs? Yeah, sure, why not? But like to do what?
I like them to win the division. Call me crazy, man, but I do like it.
I'm with you on this, by the way. I said this 2 weeks ago. I thought while the Eagles were going to be good this year, that defense looks just ridiculous. I feel like a regression may be coming. I think the people are counting the Cowboys out a little too heavily. Dak is a good quarterback, despite what people are saying. Go ahead, Case. I see you making a face.
I just want to make sure the Philadelphia Eagles still play in the NFL. Like they're still in the league.
Yeah.
In the same division. And
Last I
Dak was
checked.
just crying over not being told that Trey Lance was getting traded to them.
I think crying is a little harsh. You might have been just speaking to the media
man.
on it.
So this
Let
is
that
where
man
we
be
are.
Emotional, man. Let that man be emotional. It's okay.
I Ducky, I'm not with you. I'm certainly not with Aaron, but I'm not with it on the Cowboys at all. Like, I'm just
saying,
not intrigued.
A team usually regresses after making the Super Bowl. You're not seeing too many teams go back to back to back on the Super Bowl. Even a team like the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, come back for a season or two, then go back to the Super Bowl. To have the run the Eagles had last year was ridiculous. It's flat out ridiculous.
Man, it's the schedule. The schedule is a lot tougher this year. They're playing a first place schedule now. They have a really tough couple games at the end of the season there as well. I don't know if you looked at that at all, but they have a couple games. I think it's like the Chiefs, Bills, back to back or something like that. I forget off the top of my head, but they also have 5 games this season with less rest than their opponent. That's second worst in the league, by the way. They have 3 games on the road after a Monday night/Sunday night football game, which is tied for worst in the league. They have a negated bye week. So these are all things that are going against them.
And by the way, they lost Shane Steichen, and maybe you believe Nick Sirianni was the whole deal there, but it doesn't help.
Yeah, they lost both their coordinators. It's going to take them some time to kind of adjust to that. Yeah,
I totally forgot about the defensive side of the ball. That was Gannon, right? He went to the Cardinals.
Yeah. I mean, they're still top 5 in offensive and defensive lines. That's always going to keep them in it. I'm not saying that they're going to miss the playoffs. I just think that, they're going to get it's like the margin for error there, or like the margin between the two teams is not that big. The Cowboys are a little bit improved. They got Brandon Cooks now, the second wide receiver. They got Stephon Gilmore for their cornerbacks. They improved their 2 positions that needed improving. And I don't know. I think this is a good year, and I think that they got a little addition by subtraction by getting rid of Zeke. So I think I don't know. The cards are there. I don't think the margin between the two teams is that big. So you're getting good value on the Cowboys.
So you're finding value on that NFC East bet, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. I even think that there's value if you like the Cowboys to win the division, then you like them to be the number 1 seed as well, because you're talking about easily the best division, right? Or the best 2 teams probably potentially in the NFC besides the 49ers.
Yeah, you still got to add the 49ers in the conversation. But to the point, you're likely talking about number 1 seed.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say if you're going to do that bet, I would sprinkle half on each, because you're going to get good value on both. You're going to get, plus 800, 900 for the first seed, for the 1 seed, and then plus 200-ish for the division. So it's good value.
You're not buying what he's selling, Case.
Nah, I'm hearing him. I trust him. I'm just saying.
You don't believe it.
I'm in on the Eagles.
All right. You think the Cowboys are number 2 seed?
That's fair though. It's fair. It's like I can't even argue for somebody who wants to back the Eagles either, because Jalen Hurts is that good. He's really good.
I mean, even if he wasn't, that defense is just out of this world and got better this offseason.
Yeah, they definitely have holes in linebacker and safety now, but those are the 2 least important positions, so it doesn't even matter. But
dude, this team was an all-time historic pass rush last year. They may go above and beyond it this year. They may sack the quarterback 80 times this year.
That'd be something.
Well, see, I mean, they do face better offensive lines this year than they did last year. Last year, their schedule was a joke. I don't know if you ever if you go back and look at it, it was so bad. The schedule. It was just so easy for them. It's the same thing with the Saints this year. If you've seen the Saints schedule this year, it's a joke. Like, it's a complete joke if you just run from top to bottom. I think listen to these first couple games for the Saints. Versus Titans at home, at Panthers, at Packers, Buccaneers at home, Patriots, Texans, Jaguars, right? Week 7. So it takes 7 weeks for them to face, in my opinion, a top 10 team.
Yeah. So does that mean you're all in on the Saints, it sounds like?
That's another team I kind of like, but they might be the last undefeated team, honestly, which is like a good little side bet there. I think that's like, plus 3,000 or something?
It's crazy, but I think when you talk about the 2 conferences, at least, the AFC, I think we know a little bit more. I think the NFC, the Eagles are good. Dallas,
Niners.
You guys think are great. The Niners, but outside of that, I think the wild cards are up for grabs. I think there's a whole lot of who knows with the rest of these teams.
Yeah, teams like the Lions or Atlanta or the Vikings, even a team like the Bears, who was putrid last year. You don't know what they're going to be this year.
NFC is wide open.
What's your thought on San Francisco? Knowing now that Trey Lance is gone, you have to be all in on Brock Purdy and or Sam Darnold. They clearly have a great roster, but quarterback is still unproven. What are you doing with San Francisco?
So their schedule is not hard. It's actually in the top, I think, 10 of easiest schedules. but I'm not crazy about them this year. There's something about them that feels off. I can't really put my hands on it, or my finger on it. I just got, my gut is just saying to avoid them, so I'm just completely avoiding everything to do with them this year. I like Christian McCaffrey. I think he's gonna have a decent year. He has a chance at 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The whole Purdy thing kind of, I don't know, gives me a little bit of pause because I don't know how he's gonna be coming back from the injury. Obviously, it's his elbow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a UCL.
So that's tough to come back from. Do I trust Sam Darnold? I'm a Jets fan. I'm gonna say no, but yeah. I don't know. I'm iffy on San Francisco. They might sleepwalk to 9 wins, but I don't know if that wins in the division. I don't know where that puts them in the playoffs. I don't see them as too much of a threat to the Eagles or even the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Now,
honestly.
Case, that's another team that had a great defense last year, and I think actually got better this offseason on defense. You still have the Bosa situation you want to kind of handle before it gets too crazy, but there's no way in hell they're letting that guy walk away. So
no.
I'm just sitting here looking at the Niners going, the only real question mark for me is Purdy. And I've given you a hard time about it recently, but I may have done the old fence sitting on Brock Purdy.
Really?
I think I'm ready to come over to your side.
Really?
Yes.
The Brockinator.
The Brockinator was the Brockbuster. No, there's another name he's got.
Brockbuster's a good one.
But I'm starting to believe in the kid. And do I think he's going to throw for 5,000 yards? No, but he could lead this team 13 wins. I'm buying that.
So you're in on San Fran.
I'm in on San Fran.
Ooh.
I think San Fran's number 1 seed in the NFC.
Ooh.
I think Eagles 2, Dallas 3.
There's a case to be made for any of these teams. That's the thing. These are the top 3 teams in the entire NFC. So I would say there is a case to be made for either one of them. I would just go with whoever has the most value. That's who I would just
Duck, did you find any value on any Saints props? Because I really think this is a team nobody's really talking about right now. I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I don't even think he's an average. I think he's a good quarterback. He's got tools on that team like Alvin Kamara at some point. He's got Chris Olave, who's amazing at wide receiver. He's got Michael Thomas, who's finally healthy after 15 years dealing with toe and knee and calf and ankle injuries. This team has the ability to score some points, I think.
Yeah, something fun that I saw, 13 games indoors for the Saints.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. 13 games indoors and the easiest schedule by far in the NFL.
The indoors thing, it's either a blessing or a curse, right? You're going to run faster. You got a much faster offense, but at the same time, think of all these injuries over the last couple of years on turf.
Yeah.
Got Michael Thomas is sitting there shaking in the locker room. So please, maybe I'll stay on the bus for this one, guys.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, Duck, NFC North. I don't understand fully this one. I know everybody loves the Lions, but I got the Vikings to win the division at 270, plus 270, and I can't fully figure that one out. And people are saying that Jordan Love might be good, and then the Bears are what's going on in the NFC North in your opinion?
That's another one. You can make a case for any of those teams.
Any of them?
I would say, the Bears, look, I like the Bears and everything, but now so many people are on the Bears.
They really are.
Betting Justin Fields to be MVP. Now it makes me want to fade him. And I kind of want to stay away. There's a case to be made for the Vikings. I would say the only pushback on the Vikings is their defense definitely got a little worse than last year.
Oh, definitely. Offense, too.
Yeah. So they might lose a step. I don't know. It's that's another one of those teams with high variance, right? So they can. I can be convinced that they're going to be 4 and 12 or 13, whatever it is, or I can be convinced that they're going to win 10 games, right? So they do have a lot of high variance. If you're just going to rock with value, why not? I would say honestly, the Packers are decent value in my opinion as well. I'm not even thinking about Jordan Love. I'm just thinking about the team in general. They arguably have the best defense in the division. They have arguably the best run game in the division. Second best offensive line, right? So if Jordan Love pops and he's good, they're going to win the division, and Bears fans are going to cry for another 15 years. So I don't know. But, yeah, I could be convinced of Vikings. I could be convinced of Packers. I'm kind of swinging in between the two.
The deal on the Vikings to me is it all rides on the offensive line. You got a guy in Madison who's finally carrying the load with Dalvin Cook on, and you got a guy in Kirk Cousins who's a great quarterback when he's upright, but at 36 years old, really he never was able to, but certainly at 36 isn't running naked bootlegs out to the side or anything like that. You got to keep this guy protected. I happen to watch Quarterback on Netflix, Case.
You're an expert.
So I am an expert on Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
And I did see that he hurt his ribs last year. The boy was getting beat up a little bit.
Did he?
He played through it because he's a tough guy, a tough dad. But at the same time,
6 episodes about his ribs, man.
at the same time, it did sound a little painful when he was whining about it getting tackled every other play. So I have a feeling it's a lot more bad news if the offensive line can help him out. The good news for Vikings fans is that their offensive line is great. A bunch of pass blockers. Run blocking might be another story, but I don't think they got to worry too much about keeping Kirk Cousins off the ground versus what they normally see. But to the point in that division, I don't know that every team has an opportunity to win that division, but there are a lot of questions. I mean, that one to me is like a microcosm of what the NFC is. You got a lot of teams there who could either be in the top third of the NFC or the bottom third of the NFC. It's pretty wild to me. Let's get to some of these player awards before we finish up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to start? You guys want to start with MVP?
Yeah, why don't we start with MVP? It's the big award. Everyone always bets it the heaviest. Obviously, we had mentioned a little bit earlier on Trev being a value pick at MVP, but there's a field around him as well. So tell us what you're seeing there.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people, it seems like Lamar's the sexy pick this year.
Why do you think that is? Just because the injuries have hampered him the last 2 years in a row, maybe people are thinking time for him to return to a breakout? Or is it the fact that he's finally got an offense he's going to be throwing in with a couple of receivers?
I think that's part of it. People think that, that automatically he's just going to start throwing it everywhere and running everywhere, and people don't realize that it's going to take some time for them to gel. So I'm not crazy about him. I personally, I'm between Trevor and Justin Herbert right now. Those are the two that I'm kind of flip-flopping on in my head. I'm not sure who I'm going to go with, but I'm flip-flopping between the two. I think both of them are going to have fantastic years.
And you're staying away from names like Mahomes and Burrow just because the value doesn't exist?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mahomes plus 600. Why would I go that? I'm going plus 1,000 or higher or anything with these awards.
Yeah. All right, so if we're talking offensive player, actually, let's go to coach. Head coach of the year.
Well, I said DeMeco Ryans before a little bit. I feel like that's a good sprinkle if you're going to go super long shot. Another one, I would say Matt LaFleur is a decent sprinkle as well. He's at plus 1,600. If he somehow wins that division and runs away with it after losing Aaron Rodgers, I think that's a storyline that the voters can get behind.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say those are my two that kind of stand out above the pack.
All right, moving on to offensive player of the year. Any value there? Are we looking at another Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill dominance, or do you think there's value here on this pick? Maybe Bijan Robinson or somebody?
That would be very interesting. I kind of like, for offensive player of the year, I kind of like to stick to the top there. I like Christian McCaffrey off the thought that, he can do the 1,000, right? He'll be up in the mix. Tyreek, I like him at plus 2,000, but he is going to hinge on Tua's health, right? So it depends on Tua. And I don't know if I can trust him. I don't know. I feel like he gets slammed once to the ground, he's going to be out for a couple games. So I don't know.
But even when that does happen, and you're right, he does miss a couple of games, it seems like, every season like that. Last year, I think he had a pesky leg injury, knee or ankle. He still almost receives 2,000 yards, even though he'll sit out a game or two.
That's why he is a solid bet. I wouldn't be against it. If you were to convince me of Tyreek Hill, I would take Tyreek Hill.
Is there any world in which a guy like Jalen Hurts wins this award if he's not winning MVP?
I think that they try to stick to non-quarterbacks if it's possible. But yeah, I mean there is a world where that happens for sure. I mean, but last year who was it that won? Justin Jefferson? Yeah,
I think it was Jettas. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had such a good year. I could also argue Nick Chubb here. I think he's behind arguably the best offensive line in the NFL, and he should have an insane season, honestly. So he's arguable as well for offensive player of the year.
I'm looking at Deshaun Watson re-breaking back out. after already breaking out in his career with the Texans. I'm looking at Amari Cooper. I'm looking at Njoku and all the tools they have in Cleveland finally. Elijah Moore. And I'm like, maybe Nick Chubb doesn't have to be the whole thing. But then again, like that's the identity of that team. They're a run-first, hit you in the mouth team. If I'm thinking running backs, though, I think McCaffrey obviously a better shot than Nick Chubb. But wide receivers, if it's not Jay Jettas, if it's not Tyreek Hill, if I have to put my money on someone that I'm looking for a value on,
don't do it.
I think Cooper Kupp's the guy.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say Garrett Wilson.
Garrett might do it, Bubba. Garrett might be a top 3 receiver this year. Come on, Doug, tell him about it.
That's my boy.
But Cooper
Honestly,
Kupp,
though, like you know, Aaron Rodgers focuses on one guy.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Yes.
You never know.
And they look great in the
But
preseason.
their schedule is tough. Their schedule is tough,
Stop
man.
it, Doug.
I won't lie.
Doug, let's be positive. Come on, man. Cooper Kupp, I think people are sleeping on him just because the Rams look so putrid.
Well, they do.
Yeah, they look bad. They're bad. Bro.
You could still throw it to Cooper Kupp 15 times a game. It's still Matt Stafford. He's still going to catch 13 of those passes.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's like, I can't talk to my teammates because they're on the phone. So Cooper Kupp's the only person I know.
Did you see that story? We're going to talk about that next hour.
Oh,
but Cooper Kupp, any Cooper love? Not really. Okay, that's fine. You're allowed. What about Defensive Player of the Year? You know, names like Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt are always at the top of that list, but are you finding any value anywhere else?
If you want to go like super long shot, I like Brian Burns as like a really big long shot pick.
Hate that pick
from the Panthers.
Yeah.
Why do you hate it?
Because it's a bad team. I don't think he's going to have the opportunity to play well. He's got bad teammates around him.
Yeah, I think it does depend on whether they have a top 10 defense. But in this regards, I would probably go chalk and go like Myles Garrett. I think he's going to push for 20 sacks this year.
Wow. That'd be a crazy year for Myles Garrett.
It's a lot of sacks.
But he's capable.
I know, but it's still a lot of sacks. Holy cow. Duck, one more before we get out of here. You mentioned Anthony Richardson for not your official pick, but you mentioned him potentially an offensive rookie of the year. Is that where you lean, or is this where Bijan makes his appearance?
This is a juicy category this year.
You see, I'm not crazy about Bijan because I know he's going to be good. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be bad or anything, but they have such a logjam at that position on the Falcons. Like, they really do. And I know that they're willing to run it multiple times, but then what happens if Ritter is just trash, like absolute trash?
Yeah, they have a couple of backups. I think they got Case Keenum waiting in the wings.
Case Keenum?
I do think NFL Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year is a juicy category. A guy like Bijan Robinson's got to be in the mix. Bryce Young, obviously the number 1 draft pick. He's in the mix. Anthony Richardson, the guy who could seemingly do it all from an offensive point of view, run, throw, block. I mean, the guy's 250 pounds or whatever. Jahmyr Gibbs, a Bijan clone, essentially, on a very good offense in Detroit. You got C.J. Stroud, who we talked about. As long as his pocket's clean, maybe he'll play well this year. Jackson Smith and Jigba, one of my favorites. I thought the Jets should have drafted over in Seattle. He just is recovering from wrist surgery, but should be ready for game 1. Like, there are a lot of ways you can go here.
I can give you 2 long shots here. I'll give you 2 long shots that I like. Zay Flowers, plus 1,600.
Zay Flowers is a good one on Baltimore.
Thinking that if Odell gets hurt, he becomes a de facto number 1 receiver, right?
I mean, even if Odell doesn't get hurt, if Zay Flowers is creating separation, I think they're going to go to him, yeah.
So I like him, and then a sneaky one would be Jalen Hyatt, who has the potential to be the number 1 receiver for the Giants.
Now, look, me and Duck are Gang Green fans, Case.
Sure.
But I'm telling you, with my NFL Plus premium subscription,
yes,
I did see Hyatt beat Sauce Gardner, I think twice in that game.
Yeah. Juicy.
And it wasn't like almost. It wasn't like maybe he didn't. This was like he beat him ugly. I'm kind of hoping that's a little preseason thing and not necessarily indicative of something else. Hyatt may be a good one out there. That's a good pick, Doug.
Sauce can't cover Jalen
All right,
Hyatt.
just relax. Easy. Talking about the guy who won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. Have some respect. Put some spec on his name.
Just end the season, gents.
Doc, we appreciate you taking the time, man. You got to get back to the family. Enjoy them. We'll be talking to you all throughout the NFL season and keeping track of some of these bets, which I will be crushing Casey in. It's going to be a fun year.
Yep, I'll see you guys soon, man.
Thanks, Doc. In the meantime, Brent Friends will be back right after this. Short break. Come back. And Case, I got a big surprise for you on the other side.
Oh.
Don't ask me what it is. I haven't figured it out yet. Surprise to me, too.
You got some time to figure that out.
This is Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter and Kasey Kuhrts back after this.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. It's a great time of year to invest in energy-efficient improvements to your home. With our competitive rates and new tax credits for insulation upgrades, you can get huge savings to improve your insulation today and see long-term savings every month going forward.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods, and I have some interesting information if you're interested in owning a quality diamond. We did some research on the internet to see how diamonds price on various websites like Blue Nile. What we found were diamonds of the same weight, color, clarity, had pretty different prices. Generally, that has something to do with how the diamond's cut, but the only way to see these diamonds was to buy them. So we did a price comparison on the diamonds we could tell were nicely cut, and what we found was our prices for beautifully cut Underwood diamonds were the same as theirs. So if you're interested in diamonds and want real expert help, real quality and value, and don't want to pay just to look at a diamond, come by Underwoods. And remember, when a diamond comes from us, you get all the services, assurances, and guarantees the people of North Florida have learned to expect for over 80 years. At Underwoods, our brand is a promise, and it's one we keep. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
As founder of Talon Wealth, what is Mike Lester keeping an eye on?
Once we do see a big pullback, then we want to be prepared to pivot over to more traditional portfolios that go up when markets go up. So we think we're going to see a pullback in the economy and then also in markets, but then we're going to get an opportunity to move back into more traditional investments. And to us at Talon Wealth, that's what active management is about. Worrying about these ups and downs in markets so clients don't have to, and it's also doing our best to navigate it.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to better understand your options.
Digital marketing, well, my intern handles the social media, my brother-in-law does my search, and my receptionist sends out email blasts. All done.
Your digital marketing may get done, but is it doing anything? No? Then let CMG Local Solutions help. At CMG Local Solutions, we combine the best-in-class technology and analytics to maximize your digital dollars while targeting local customers for your business. So your digital marketing doesn't just get done, it gets results. Learn more about how we can help you at cmglocalsolutions.com.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler. I'm Cookie Serratos, and I'm 11 years old. She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit-on-the-go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Why let a plumbing company tear up your property to repair or replace your old cast iron pipes when Superior Plumbing and Pipelining's no-dig trenchless service can reline them in just one day? Request an estimate now at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Are you a real estate investor or have considered investing and want to know where you can put your money that offers solid returns and protects against market volatility? It's Rich Jones. I want to introduce you to DLP Capital, CEO and founder Don Wenner.
For more than a decade, DLP Capital has delighted our investors with consistent double-digit returns. Through the smart, conservative real estate investment strategy our company is built on, we have been able to achieve this with monthly distributions and tax shelters so our investors can keep more of their returns.
Dial ** invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
I wouldn't be exaggerating when I say this. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without that chronic joint pain and without drugs and without surgery. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right into your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. That's causing all of that horrible pain. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, a real alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Imagine this fall moving around pain-free, doing the things you love again, walking, hiking, playing golf, playing with the grandkids. Call QC Kinetics and see how the latest advances in precision regenerative medicine can attack your pain and bring you lasting relief. Now is the best time to get started. 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522 for a free consultation with QC Kinetics.
Happy Labor Day weekend to the workers of every field. The world runs on your contributions, and you all deserve respect, recognition, and a weekend to relax. Please be safe this Labor Day weekend and don't drink and drive. From your friends at ESPN 690 and Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: the one-of-a-kind wood-fired flavor of a Traeger Ironwood XL grill and football. That's right, Desmond Howard. Get fired up for the game in just a tap with Traeger's intuitive touchscreen. Then throw on your favorites and monitor the grill from anywhere with Wi-Fi technology. So you spend less time staring at the grill, which means more time for football. Upgrade your Saturday with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Kinetico softener and drinking water system. Kinetico's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it. Have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Kinetico K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Kinetico Premier softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Kinetico dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Hello, it's me. The designer jeans in your closet? The back of your closet? What am I doing here? Would you keep caviar in the back of your fridge with the ketchup and old milk? Yeah, I don't think so. So, what happened to us? I mean, have you seen my label? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Sure, I never really fit you quite right, and one of my pockets is so small you can't even squeeze your hand into it. But it's all about the look. And I look good. I need to get back out on the scene so I can be seen. You know, going to fancy parties, getting expensive iced coffees, Sunday fun days, okay? So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Developing story from ESPN's Adam Schachter. The Cardinals don't plan to activate quarterback Kyler Murray off the PUP list by tomorrow's deadline. That would leave him ineligible at least the first 4 games of the season. Murray's coming back from a torn ACL. Cards also released QB Colt McCoy, so either Josh Dobbs or rookie Clayton Tune will likely start week 1. ESPN NFL front office insider Louis Riddick.
There's just no telling what they're thinking and what their plan is. You could be thinking they're going to veer left and they veer right. I really don't know. It's one of the more perplexing organizations in the NFL from my standpoint, and the way I see them. I just don't know what the hell they're going to do from year to year. And this is just another indication of that.
Louis Riddick on Canty and Carlin. Another strong performance off the bench for Team USA by Austin Reeves at the FIBA World Cup. 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. The United States rolled by Greece 109-81 and is advanced to round 2. Blue Jays third baseman Matt Chapman put on the injured list with a sprained right middle finger. Toronto 2.5 games out of the final AL wildcard spot. American Francis Tiafoe among today's first-round winners at the U.S. Open. Live coverage on ESPN.
When it comes to hiring, you don't need to be doing all the searching, screening, and interviewing yourself. What you need is Indeed, the end-to-end solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000 as ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. Sponsored by Arlington Toyota with over 800 new and used vehicles available.
Enter the word spring at ESPN690.com. That's SPRING by 15 past the hour.
Your next chance to win $1,000 and have ESPN 690 pay your bills happens tomorrow morning at 8. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We're getting a little punchy around here, people. It's been a lot in a row.
I would love to punch you guys.
Ow! It really hit me. Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, and Kasey Kuhrts. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
And welcome to the 5 o'clock hour of the Brent and Friends radio show. Aaron Schachter and Kasey Kuhrts hanging with you. Hi, buddy.
Hello.
We're here up until 6, and then I will exit. You will not, Case.
Will not.
You will be staying right there. Another hour of radio for you once we're done here on Brent and Friends with Overtime.
Yes.
Kasey Kuhrts and Brian Middleton.
The boys.
Don't forget, you just heard the trigger play right there. We're doing a big contest 5 times every day. We're giving you a chance to win $1,000. All you got to do is take that keyword, put it on your entry form at ESPN690.com.
Ooh.
Should be right there front and center. Can't pretend like I've checked for myself, but
I haven't checked.
Got to imagine people are doing their jobs, Case. Oh, you got doubts? What's the matter? You all right? Making weird noises right here. Confident people don't make those noises.
Just think about the generators. Holy cow. Anyway.
Lots of stuff going on today.
Craziness.
We saw a couple of names out of, I guess you can't call it TIAA Bank Drive anymore, can you?
Nope, you can call it Everbank Stadium.
Is it, though? Everbank Stadium Drive?
I don't know what the road is. It's Everbank Stadium.
It is Everbank. It's the bank.
You know where it's at.
The bank.
The bank. Derek Parrish, the fullback, 7th-round pick. Woody Wills.
The fullback experience is over.
The fullback, did it ever really start?
A lot of teams trying to do it right now.
It didn't start here in Jacksonville. The experiment is over. Derek Parrish, no longer with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
Kevin Austin on that list. Reported by Adam Schefter, by the way, so that's certainly something. Not a whole lot of, and again, we don't really expect a lot of headline material from the cut department for the Jags, but, you know, some names coming in here or there, and obviously we will have the full list of that by 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, and that is the deadline for the roster cuts, 4 o'clock tomorrow. I guess the expectation, as it is every year, is you'll have some surprises around the league, some pretty big names you wouldn't have expected to see on the waiver wire who won't clear waivers.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen too much of that yet. One of the surprising names I saw earlier today, I ran it by you. You were similarly surprised. was Colt McCoy out of Arizona.
Yeah, man. The league should be looking into that. Like,
you think this is, no doubt about it, the biggest evidence of a tank ever to happen?
Well, no.
What is the league looking into then?
You should look into the fact, if you're the league, that the Arizona Cardinals traded their first-round pick from 3 years ago for what feels like an eighth-round pick in Isaiah Simmons. And then today, they decide to cut Colt McCoy, who's been there forever, knows the offense, knows what to do, can play quarterback in the league, and they're going to bring in Josh Dobbs, who has taken all of no snaps for them yet. And without seeing him play football, they're like, that's our guy. That's our guy. Because they realize Colt McCoy might accidentally win a game, is what they realize.
Is that what's happening?
Yes, it is. I don't care what they say. They realize Colt McCoy might actually win a game, and they cut him.
Think about this dude, Josh Dobbs, for a second.
Very smart.
Because last year,
heck of a forehead.
He was essentially just hanging on the street, unemployed.
That's what I'm saying, Aaron.
But the Titans saw fit to pick him up, and he damn near almost beat the Jaguars.
Okay, first off, he was on the team that almost beat the Jaguars.
Okay, you needed a strip sack fumble to win the game.
And that's fine, but the only reason they did it is because Malik Willis physically could not throw a football.
Okay. For whatever the reason. I'm just saying, Josh Dobbs can play. Cardinals think so.
No.
Okay.
No. This is obvious and clear and blank, and you're tanking, bro. And I get it. Colt McCoy, over the hill, played a lot of football.
Is he, though?
Yes. Colt McCoy was in college when I was in, like, elementary school, which really doesn't resonate with any of y'all.
Really is not a big deal. That's like 6 years ago.
But I'm like an adult now. I've gone through all of life, and Colt McCoy's just been chilling on the Cardinals.
Adult in name only. Let's not get crazy.
Legally, I'm an adult. So
get carried away.
It's just, it's so bad. You can't do that. You can't cut the only quarterback you had for a guy you didn't even have who lost the job to DTR.
There are names on this offense on the Cardinals.
Besides Hollywood Brown, what do they got?
James Conner. He's not bad.
He ain't good.
Now, once you get past RB1, it's a little bit rougher.
Give me their team. What are they going to run out there with behind with Josh Dobbs?
Josh Dobbs.
Yep.
You got James Conner, RB1.
Okay. I'll give it to you. It's not the worst in the league.
Hollywood Brown, wide receiver 1.
That's just not good.
Okay. Rondale Moore.
So both of their receivers in total do not come to 6 feet if they were standing on top of each other.
I think there are three wide receivers on the roster with the last name Davis who aren't starters.
Any of them Corey?
You can't name any of them.
Okay. Well, they got
Zach Ertz, tight end.
Zach Ertz is 180 years old.
He still can play ball, bro.
You want to talk about having no knees? They tried to do that to Darnell Washington. Zach Ertz, they got no knees or ACLs.
You got a questionable offensive line here.
Questionable?
Well, you got a rookie at right tackle, Paris Johnson Jr.
They traded one of their starting tackles for a 6th.
They did.
A 6th.
Zaven Collins, defensive end. He's good.
Is he? Probably traded for a 9th.
Ojulari, BJ Ojulari.
Great.
That's pretty much it.
This team is awful.
Budda Baker.
Budda Baker is if you want to talk about the most aggravated man in America, it's Budda Baker. He's been trying to get out.
Yes.
Everybody else is trying to play.
Yeah.
Nobody has said anything. Budda Baker's like, please trade me, and they've got rid of 3 guys since, none of them Budda Baker.
Budda Baker is the kid at home looking out the window, hoping tomorrow is a hurricane day.
Like, if I'm Budda Baker, I'm calling the league. I'm like, bro, we is cheating.
Send help, please. PLS.
They got one good player. It's me, and they won't trade me. But they're trading these other bums.
Listen, UCF legend Matt Prater, the place kicker, is on that team.
This is a joke, man. Like, this is a joke of an NFL team. It really is.
It's not great in terms
Aaron,
of...
it's awful.
In terms of how that roster
It is the
looks.
worst team in the NFL. Like, here's the crazy part. They have to play the Rams twice. That will be the 2 worst NFL games that have ever been played. Those 2 teams are not trying. Neither of them.
Over under on the total amount of points.
Under.
Scored in the...
Under. They'll be lucky to get a safety.
Over-under on total amount of points scored by both teams in both games total. 4 efforts.
Under. I don't even care what the number. This is bad.
21.5. It's an under. 4 different
2 games,
efforts.
4 teams.
It's like 5 points a game.
Yeah, under. I got it 6-3, and I got it 3-2. Barn burner.
Wow.
They sacked Josh Dobbs in the end zone. Aaron Donald.
Talk a lot about Josh Dobbs for a guy who almost got beat by him.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
This team sucks, man. It's just.
It seems like they are in the Caleb Williams hunt. What do you do with Kyler next year if you get Caleb Williams?
Probably cut him the way this is going.
Nah. They're not going to cut him.
Somebody will trade for him.
$46 million. You could trade him.
Somebody will.
But like whoever you trade, they got to eat that money. Like if Jordan Love doesn't work out, maybe you convince Green Bay to take this guy.
Atlanta.
That's actually what we just had someone in the chat say.
Ah, Stephen Mann, nice. It's just a mess in Arizona.
Yeah,
Whatever, man.
It's not good out there.
It's awful. Not even trying. Not even trying to hide it either.
So Colt McCoy, he gets like the reprieve.
Good for Colt. He's lucky. He doesn't have to get hit 8 times a game.
Yeah. And he'll probably find some other team who'll pick him up, put him on the sideline. He's a great, player
He's seen
coach.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Matt Ryan situation.
He wasn't the only quarterback making news, though, in the last couple of days. You had Trey Lance getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott had a big problem with this.
Yeah. Do you think they should have told him?
Yeah, sure. If you believe in Dak as your franchise quarterback and you're about to talk to this guy about another extension, you're going to work out a new contract with him, like you want to be upfront with the guy. Even if you think Trey is the future, you still, at least if I'm Dak, want as an adult the franchise to come talk to me about it. I may not like the news, but that's their call to make.
Do you think that Jerry Jones believes that Trey Lance will ever play football for the Cowboys, or did he have the opportunity to make some news and he did it?
Maybe a little of both. I don't know that Jerry Jones thinks Trey Lance ever hits the field for them.
There's no way. There's no way. Cooper Rush was 5-1.
Yeah, he was really good last year.
Or 4-1, whatever it was. Like, he's QB3. You just wasted a roster spot.
No, not really, because you don't know what you got in Trey Lance. You don't know if it was situational.
You ain't going to find out.
Not in an NFL game anytime soon. But what you may find is a guy like Cooper Rush isn't long for the team. And then you got Trey Lance. I mean, you could definitely sign him to another deal this offseason for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Like, you're not paying this kid $40 million.
You're not paying him $1 million.
But like, my point is, it's not going to be cost prohibitive.
I get that.
To keep a 3rd overall pick on your roster.
Other than the physical body you won't get to keep. You will not get to keep a lineman or this or that.
Sure.
For a guy that will never play. Think about all the things that have to go wrong before Trey Lance gets in. All the things. You're talking double concussion. Because even if it's like a non-throwing shoulder, Dak's out there.
Yeah. Will Greer's on that team, too.
Will Greer's getting cut. Sorry, Will. Join Colt McCoy in the unemployment line. But it's just, I don't know. San Francisco, what a disaster. And this is the part that I agree with Brent.
San Francisco, you said?
Yeah. This is
for Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. This is the part that I agree with Brent that he always brings up. Like, they got so lucky with this. And like...
Yeah, this should have hurt them for years.
It was a little bit... They traded 3 first-rounders for this guy. He's gone.
And they've been a great team ever since.
Arguably the best.
Yeah.
Not the best, Kansas City, but arguably.
Yeah, no, like a top 3 team, sure.
They're going to... Like, again, Brock Purdy still has to be good, but like, they might win here. They don't have to pay Brock Purdy nothing for 4 more years, 3 more years, whatever it is.
3 more.
That's crazy. I don't get it. Trey Lance ain't never playing for the Cowboys.
You get it. It's just luck, but are you talking about Trey Lance
just the whole
Cowboys?
Thing. 2 things I just don't understand.
Well, like, what if the Dak thing doesn't work out? What if he gets hurt again?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah, so now you need a backup quarterback. Why not Trey Lance?
Colt McCoy's available. I don't know.
Colt McCoy is available.
Why would they give up a 4th
And Colt
round?
McCoy, I think, played for the Texas Longhorns. If I'm not mistaken.
He did.
So bring him to Dallas.
I guess. I don't know. I will say this, though. Then I might not be speaking to the major population here. But if you, for say, have a bunch of Trey Lance sports cards, some autographed.
Are you speaking firsthand here?
I don't know. Some autographed, some graded, some this, some that, da-da-da. The Dallas Cowboys are the most popular team in the NFL.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. Preach it, Case. Go ahead.
I just need my mans to do one good thing one time. I'm making all my money back. Because them Cowboys fans, one, are passionate, and two, a little bit delusional. So I just need them, Trey Lance, one time. Let Trey Lance come in. There's a double injury situation. Let him complete one tutty. I make all my money back. I don't make
one touchdown?
I guarantee you.
It'd be cool if it was like one of these like cool, memorable plays.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's
even
just,
better.
Yeah. Yeah, like he throws it, it gets deflected off of a big lineman, right back into Trey Lance's arms, and Trey runs 50 yards for a touchdown.
Be awesome.
And now you're selling those cards for like 50, 55
I will
cents.
say I'm mad. There was a little bit of a bump, believe it or not, in the cards when he got traded to Dallas because Dallas.
What kind of a bump were we talking?
They went from complete and utter garbage to like recycling.
What does this mean in actual value? I don't know. A card that would have been $1 would be what in this scenario?
About $1.50.
Okay.
But the card that's
I
like
wouldn't necessarily call that a bump, but okay.
But the card that's like 300.
Okay.
You're looking at a solid 375, 400.
Ooh.
Little bump. Very small in a very short amount of time. But if this guy ever slightly performs for the Dallas Cowboys, your boy Casey is getting out of a very bad investment. Almost as bad as what the 49ers did.
You know, a lot of people don't know, Case, but one of the many jobs you do professionally are these breaks where you open up these packs of cards and people are paying money to buy into these packs of cards.
Sure.
And, you know, I've been watching a lot of these since you started working on that stuff.
Well, we haven't seen you buy a spot, so maybe we can change that. But okay.
I got to liquidate some more Ethereum. Don't mind me.
We'll lock you in for the Jets next break.
But I just think it's funny when you get to a card like Trey Lance and the guy's got to pretend like he's extremely excited about this.
Yeah, it's tough.
1 of 200, you know, blue prism Trey Lance.
Yeah, it's tough. No, there's no way around it. It's tough, and people are smart enough to understand that. That's why, to get deep in the weeds, to be honest, it's kind of hard to sell 21 right now, especially in a break, because nobody wants the Jets because Zachy boy, and nobody wants the 49ers. But here's the thing. This is business now. We talking business, folks. You got to price them somewhat high. This is the second and third pick in the draft. Like, you can't just give that away. I can't charge somebody double, triple, quadruple the Jags just because Trevor ended up being good. I can move him up a little bit, to be real with you. But I can't. Somebody's always complaining, why are the 49ers so high? We got to tell them, because of Trey Lance. And then the guy comments, Trey Lance sucks. I'm like, look, I get it.
You get it firsthand, you get it.
I get it. I'm with you. I did this to somebody the other night. I was like, listen, man, I'm in deep. I'm here. We're together. But you might as well pick up the 49ers and try to run it back.
Yeah, man.
And then, yeah.
Doesn't work out that way.
No, it's tough. It's tough. I'm going to be real with you. It's very tough. But the Dallas
it's a fun
part
little business that's going on over there. For those of you who don't know what breaks are, you're opening up packs of cards.
Yeah, you get a bunch of boxes of cards. And, you know, like today we were doing some baseball hobby. So you got about 5 boxes. You buy a team for a very cheaper price than the box itself.
Baseball cards used to come like 10, 15 a pack or something like that. Are they smaller packs now also? I know football cards are like, some of these packs are like 5 cards in a pack.
Yeah, it's about that.
Right.
And then you get the chance, instead of spending your money to buy one box, you get your chance to get all the cards out of your favorite team from 5 or 6 different boxes.
Interesting. Okay.
So it maximizes your chance to hit your team. But if you want multiple teams, it's going to cost more money. But you're getting a team, 2 teams, sometimes 3 teams for the price of 1 box, but you're really buying into 3 or 4 or 5 different boxes.
Are you only doing football? I know you said baseball. Are you only doing sport? I saw wrestling cards.
Oh, yeah, we do some wrestling.
And I saw
we got everything.
Pokemon, I think.
Pokemon. Got to catch them all.
Wild.
Yeah. Anything you want.
Very high energy. It's fun to watch if you're on TikTok or any of those social media platforms.
Thank you.
You should check out Casey doing his thing, man.
That's us.
Be the only guy on there watching him.
Okay.
I couldn't help myself, Casey.
I know. All right.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick reset. We'll come back. We'll look at Zeets from around the league. I've also got a couple of things we've learned from the 2023 preseason I want to go over with you and get your take on some of these things. Big day for us here on Brent and Friends. Brent recovering from a big rhino accident. Not acquired at the Jacksonville Zoo.
That's good.
We feel for him, though.
You should see this.
He's
guy.
on the mend.
Yeah, it's tough.
I actually think he looks better than he looked before he got hurt.
The horn got ill.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, boy.
In any case, we'll be back with his show just minutes from now. Aaron Schachter and Kasey Kuhrts here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690. Partly sunny today, a few showers and storms that'll shift more inland through this afternoon. Temperatures in the 80s at the beaches to the low 90s inland, dropping into the 70s tonight. And partly cloudy tomorrow. Scattered showers and storms increasing from south to north through the day, highs in the low 90s. Then the impacts from Idalia are expected later tomorrow night and especially during the day on Wednesday. A hurricane watch is in effect near and west of Highway 301. A tropical storm watch for Jacksonville and the rest of the area. Wednesday will be windy with bands of heavy rain and storms. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News, Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. For a limited time, get 5 years, 0 interest, only at Beard's Diamonds.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Hey y'all, this is 17-time PGA Tour winner Jim Furyk inviting you to the 3rd annual Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K this October 2nd to 8th at Timuquana Country Club. Be sure to check out college football and your Jaguars on the Jumbotrons in the Publix Tailgate Village, Birdie Beers at Circle K Party Porch, the ViStar Patriots Outpost, and more. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com to see the legends of the game compete for a spot in the PGA Tour Champions playoffs. Don't forget Ticketmaster.com to get your tickets today.
Are you stressed out trying to create the right digital marketing? You need to contact Cox Media Group Local Solutions, Jacksonville. April Davis here. They've been helping businesses for more than 10 years, so they can help you market across social media, search engines, display ads, Amazon, and more. If you need expert digital advice, make sure you call the experts helping businesses with digital marketing for a decade at 904-454-2648, keyword April. Call 904-454-2648, keyword April.
Dig Local believes community gardens, farmers markets, and nutrition education are sustainable routes to a future where everyone can eat better. Shop the Beaches Green Market this and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Penman Park on Penman Road, just north of Beach Boulevard for fresh local fruits and vegetables, plants, meats, eggs, baked goods, honey, wellness products, ready-to-eat snacks and drinks, and local artist craft goods. If you have an EBT card, stock up on free fruits and vegetables and edible plants. Go to diglocal.org to learn more.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's Twin Tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available. We have one in our home. We absolutely love it, have had it for over 5 years. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 on a Connecticut K5 drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut Premier softener. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer, Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
To go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Welcome back to Brent Friends, ESPN 690. Aaron Schachter and Kasey Kuhrts. Wrapping up Monday.
Wrapping. Whoa.
We'll be back again tomorrow. Sans Brent.
What?
Sans Brent.
Right.
That means without.
I know. So good old sans.
Does that mean sans serif, the font, means without serif?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, neither do I, to be honest with you. And I'm the one talking about it, so that's kind of weird. We've been having fun today, Case. Having a good show with you, man.
A lot of fun.
Talking a little bit about the Jaguars earlier today. Some of these roster cuts already being made. Deadline tomorrow at 4 p.m. to get the roster down. We talked about who our predictions would be.
We did.
We heard from Doug Peterson a little bit earlier today.
They call him Douglas.
Amongst from the injury updates, which he gave a few,
Mm-hmm.
we got bad news on Ventrell Miller. That's a torn Achilles. He's out for the season.
Yeah, it's tough.
We also heard from Doug. If his son gets cut, he would like to be the one to do it.
Specifically.
Thought that was kind of weird, but at the same time, heartwarming.
Hey, I got a weird one for you.
Okay, let's
It doesn't
do it.
really deserve this, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, breaking news. What do you got?
This is weird. You remember Isaiah Rodgers?
The linebacker.
No.
The Colts corner.
That got suspended for a year for gambling on the NFL.
Yes.
Has
he played
been
corner for the Colts?
Yes.
Okay.
Has been signed by the Eagles and placed on their
non-football suspended list.
But
Wow.
this is a weird one. This is a guy
Because
who
it was
allegedly
an early pickup.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think anyone would pick it. He's not.
You thought he was done forever.
He's not nice. I mean, he's okay. He ain't nice with it.
But he wasn't like some undrafted free agent scrub. Not to say that they're scrub. I'm saying he was a contributor.
But we're talking the Eagles.
Yeah, why not stash him?
I'm very, very. This is
It is a little
surprising
bit
to me.
shocking. I mean, it's a little bit early to
He
pick
bet
him
on,
up.
on games he was in, allegedly.
Yep.
That's a wild thing.
I don't think he bet to lose those games, though.
Still did it. Can't do it. Listen,
I
there's
know
a lot of
you can't.
There's a lot of the dumb NFL gambling rules that I'm not in favor of. You can't do this.
Agreed. But there are levels to this thing. Like, it's one thing to bet on the NFL in a game you have nothing to do with.
Sure.
It's one thing that's a little bit worse if you're betting on the game you have something to do with. But it's something even worse than that if you're betting on you to lose.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because you can control that, kind of.
It's just, I don't know, man. I think it's odd. Also, the Texans cut Desmond King and Christian Kirksey. So, two veterans.
Okay.
They picked up the dude that was gambling. This is weird. I don't care what you say.
Little known fact, Christian Kirksey in the small group of guys with similar names to Christian Kirk, led by your friend Christian Kirker.
Well done.
Yeah.
Nice. That was good.
Yeah. That's an interesting little group they've got.
Yeah, the boys.
Well, look, that's not the only Texans news we heard, Case.
Those are my friends. Yeah.
If I could go over to Zitter for a second and show you some Zeets.
Yeah, I'll take some Zeets.
Let's do this one out of Houston, their television station.
Gross. Hey, Houston. Airport's the worst.
Texans rookie quarterback throws a touchdown against the Saints. Then he's named the starter by head coach D'Amico Ryans. Case, the Texans were the last team in the league to name a starting quarterback for week one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that indicative of their faith in C.J. Stroud, or is this a head coach trying to set culture and precedent?
I was in favor of this. The way that they handled it.
Waiting.
Yeah. I thought the Anthony Richardson stuff was stupid, how they did it so early, and just all of that. I thought Bryce Young, whenever they were going to do that, they were going to do it because he was the number one pick. It is what it is. I like this because Stroud played. He played in the games, learned the offense a bit, and after having a good showing, they show the faith. So I think it all worked out. You played all the games. It wasn't always perfect, but you ended on this high note, and then they did what we all knew they were going to eventually do.
Yeah, here's the thing. If there's no way in hell you're sitting the number 2 pick, or 3, whatever technically he was, then why pretend like this is a competition? Why do it? Like Bryce Young. You heard from the Panthers he was going to be their day one starter. Even before they named him the starter. I didn't really understand that, but fine. They wanted some little farce of going out and earning it. Okay. The Anthony Richardson thing, I thought was more of a competition in real life. Apparently it wasn't. But they didn't want to waste any time with it. They're like, screw it. We're going to start him. Why joke about it? So, like, what do you do with C.J. Stroud? If I'm the Texans, if I'm DeMeco Ryans, especially if I'm a rookie head coach with a rookie coaching staff, I just want to get all this stuff set in stone as quickly as possible.
I get that, but I also don't think even Davis Mills thought there was a chance he was going to play.
So then why bother with the maybe he's going to be the starter, maybe not? I don't get it. That's all I'm saying. Like, just get to the business. And granted, you wanted to make him feel like he went out and earned it, fine. But, like, what if he stunk it up? You weren't going to sit him.
Yeah, it would have been awkward. It would have been like, yeah, he's still going.
You weren't going to sit him. He threw 7 picks. He went 1 of 18. It's like, he earned it.
Guy's been working.
He's been working hard.
His bounce back rate is incredible. Okay.
It's like, stop it with the silliness.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, let's go to Stephen Holder, who's my guy out in Indianapolis.
Oh.
Here's the JT update.
Oh.
Jonathan Taylor update. Talks continue, and as expected, they're going to go down to the wire.
Great.
One little tidbit, though, he's heard. He believes there's a second team involved beyond the Dolphins.
A second team. It's probably the Jets.
I don't think it's the Jets.
I don't know. They want all the running backs.
Beyond the Dolphins, which would certainly change the dynamics of the trade talks. And for those who need to be caught up, the Dolphins apparently have sent 2 or 3 what insiders are calling substantial offers to the Colts for Jonathan Taylor, to which the Colts have said, yeah, not doing it. Not yet.
They said it like that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can you spell that, Case? That's the real one.
It's probably an
I'm putting it on the page then.
Probably silent U.
Do you think the Colts are going to trade Jonathan Taylor? It doesn't seem like they want
They have to.
No, it doesn't seem like they want to.
Like, but what's the point?
You make him play.
I wouldn't play.
If you're JT, nobody sits. Everyone learned the lesson. Nobody sits.
Well, like, did they learn the lesson? Because here's the thing. Le'Veon Bell got paid.
Yeah, and then he was never the same ever again.
Yeah, but that, like, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, that's how I'm going to play out. Like, no, you're going to be like, look, he's sad. He got paid a little bit. And as long as Adam Gase isn't the head coach, I got a shot here.
But if JT can sign a 4-year deal with an out, so 3 years, he's 27 on the next contract. You still haven't hit your over-the-hill age as a running back. You're still in line for another $10 million plus contract. Versus Le'Veon Bell sits out the year, gets that big deal, and then no one ever paid him ever again.
I would believe the running backs at this point understand there's probably no second deal because they can barely get the first deal.
No, I think at 24, if you're getting a 3-year deal at 24, 4-year deal, there is a third deal.
Nah. I don't think you can operate that way
If you're
anymore.
Derrick Henry, I think your conversation is pertinent. Because Derrick Henry at 29, looking for a new deal, even though he doesn't really have a ton of injury history, it's tough. It's a little tougher. He's got tread. Over 300 carries almost every season. But like Saquon Barkley, young enough to get the deal. The injuries were the question, but he was young enough to get the deal. Do you think McCaffrey gets another deal? It's an exception. No. He's top of the list? No.
I think he's special. I think all these guys are special. It's just, if I'm the agent of a running back right now, I'm like, the second deal is with Fox Sports. The second deal is with CBS Sports.
Come on.
I'm serious.
Nah, man.
Why?
Because if you're not playing all 5 years, chances are you're not even 26 by the time the second deal comes up.
I'm talking the deal after that.
Okay, because that would be the third deal case.
I mean, not really. The rookie deal doesn't count. I'm talking the first deal. The first time you're available to be a free agent.
Okay.
That's the deal I'm fighting for. That second or third deal, the second deal, when you're 28, 29, whatever, that doesn't exist anymore.
or at least not at the top of the market.
At 30, you're in the booth. You're signing autographs for a living.
No, guys are getting paid. They're just not making $12 million a year.
Yeah, but what's the point at that point? Because if you make it in the league to that point and you're still healthy enough to play, boy, you've been through some stuff.
Ask Kareem Hunt what the point is. Ask Ezekiel Elliott what the point is. Ask Dalvin Cook what the point is. The point is the money. They're still there. They're trying to win. Money, fame, championships.
Now, those two don't go. Zeke ain't trying to win. Zeke's trying to make money. You don't go to the Patriots to try to win. Them boys stink. Dalvin Cook may be trying to win.
Dalvin Cook's trying to win, bro.
That's why I say the Jets are in play for Jonathan Taylor. They're going to run a set, some sort of crazy set with Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight, and James Robinson.
Zonovan Knight has been released.
Really?
Yes, before the show. Listen, I know it broke your heart.
Damn.
If you're the Colts.
I got a mini helmet signed by Zonovan if anybody wants that.
Oh, no. You can shove your Trey Lance card right in there and then just dump them both into a fire. Listen.
Bring him back.
If you're the Colts, why wouldn't you trade Jonathan Taylor for multiple assets? You're not going to get 3 years worth of first rounders. I get it. You will get value picks there. You'll get value. And that's a roster that needs help in multiple spots.
You get 2 seconds, you call it a day.
You get more than that.
I don't think they're going
to buy that, man. You get more than that. You just got a 4th rounder for Trey Lance.
But we're all sitting here like, what are they doing?
The Cowboys.
Yeah. We're like, why would you give up a 4th for Trey Lance? You probably could have got him for a 2-6 and a Gatorade.
Apparently not. That was the market value right there.
See, that's the part where I'm like, they were trying to grab a headline. I don't know. I think they should trade Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I think that should be the answer for the Colts. I don't think they will. I think Taylor's going to play this year for the Colts. I think they're going to try and talk to him about a contract after the season. I don't think it's a no-go on an extension for Jonathan Taylor. I know what everyone has been saying up to this point. But if Taylor rushes for 2,000 yards or has 2,000 all-purpose yards this year, and he helps the Colts to be not despicable or putrid, they're going to pay that dude. Maybe not top of the market, but he's not old.
He has no leverage. He has nowhere to go. He can't. You can demand your release as a rookie or a first contract still. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't demand the release. He can either sit out or he can get traded. And it seems like they don't want to trade him.
Right. So then you got to sit out.
What do you think of this stat from my guy Warren Sharp?
Oh, boy. The propaganda.
Not so much.
All right.
This is percent of snaps in an empty backfield. You got Deshaun Watson leading the list right now at 43.8%.
That's kind of strange.
And then second place, Trevor Lawrence.
That makes more sense.
At 18.8%. There's 30 percentage points of gap between first and second place on this list.
Why?
And just to give you an idea of the rest of the top 5, C.J. Stroud in the preseason, 17.4, Mac Jones, 16.7, Geno Smith, 14.3. So like Trev at 18, C.J. at 17, Mac at 16, Geno at 14, and Deshaun Watson at 43.8.
Why are the Browns running so much empty?
Here's why I think.
Their biggest weapon is their running back.
Because he's not playing this preseason. He's not playing this preseason. Deshaun Watson needs as many throws as possible.
Oh, you think this is just, we're just going to have him throw it?
I think this is just preseason stuff. But wild if not. Because you are talking about the best offensive line for running in the league, in the Browns. You're talking about the best back for rushing, with apologies to Derrick Henry. I believe Nick Chubb is the guy. Personal opinion. That's fine. Like, to not utilize that would be wild. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's so strange.
That being said, I think people are primed for Deshaun Watson to have a big comeback year.
Maybe they can pick up Zonovan Knight. I heard he's available.
He's available.
That's a shame, man.
It's accurate.
Got a mini helmet, if anybody wants it.
Is it signed?
Yes.
Oh, it must be worth a lot then.
Well,
maybe not so much.
Maybe not so much.
Let's get to this last story before we go to break because I think it's wild.
Maybe the Browns will pick him up.
This story?
Not Zonovan. I'm still trying to sell my mini helmet.
Story's already been picked up.
Oh.
This is a wild story we saw about Matt Stafford today, Case. Me and you were talking about this before the show a little bit.
Boy, wasn't it.
Here's some quotes. Matt Stafford is having a hard time connecting with young teammates. He's having to go as far as having the equipment staff print out a, quote, Facebook so that he can remember everyone's name and make an attempt to get to know them. Can you just imagine the scenario where Matt Stafford has to go to the equipment manager and go, hey, I've heard there's a thing called a Facebook.
Can I get one of those?
Can you print me up Facebook? It's like telling the equipment manager to go to Facebook.com and hit Control P. It's like, that's not how we're going to do this, Matt. He goes, I don't know how to lead people I have no connection with. I have to somehow find a way to connect with them. That's a quote from Stafford's wife, Kelly, on her podcast. She says, they get out of practice and meetings and training camp, and they go straight to their phones. No one looks up from their phones. Matt's like, I don't know. Am I the dad? Do I take their phones? What do I do here?
No.
He's like, I want him to see me, just not as a coach. They say sir to him and stuff. He's like, no, we're on the same level here, guys. We're both playing in the league. Let me get to know you.
Matt Stafford is the first person to ever been having received respect from other people and is like, no, please, call me not that.
You can't relate to this, but I can.
Okay.
And I think anyone around my age, or if you're Brent's age, this was 20 or 25 years ago for you, where you realize in the workplace, you're not a young person anymore. And for a lot of people like myself who are mentally immature, it's a tough realization to come to, Case.
Is it?
In my head, I still think I'm 15 years old.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's a long time ago.
That's a number.
It's a long time ago.
All right.
But no, I was talking about walking around up here with like 20-somethings like you.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I'm reminded, hey, stupid, you're an old person now.
Yeah, you are.
You don't belong here.
Yeah. I didn't say that.
You kind of did.
Nah, I need you here. I really need you here right now. You know what I'm saying? Holy cow. That rhino thing? Oh, boy.
I'm just saying, poor Matt Stafford is like looking at the end of his career. I'm watching Aaron Rodgers on Hard Knocks, which now makes me an A-Rod expert, by the way.
How was it?
It's tremendous. It's really a Rodgers love fest.
Season finale yet or no? Oh, they haven't cut anybody.
No. Well, this is the thing. I'll get to this in a second.
All right.
But you see Rodgers bonding with all these guys because they're desperate to know him.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had Zach Wilson and Mike White leading the team last year. So they're like, yeah, no, A-Rod, please tell us all of the things.
It really annoys me that you're calling him A-Rod.
He's my guy.
He's not A-Rod.
He told me.
Aaron Rodgers.
He was like, just call me A-Rod. And he was like, you have any mushrooms on you? I was like, no. He's like, all right, well, call me A-Rod.
Oh.
He's like, can you turn out the lights on your way out? I like the darkness. In any case, you see the whole team. Casey, I'm not just talking offense. The defensive guys are lined up in front of this dude.
That's wild.
Everyone's trying to get to know A-Rod.
Aaron Rodgers.
A-Rod.
Rodgers.
Then you juxtapose that to Stafford. This dude gets to the locker room. He's trying to give high fives to guys, and they're just nosing the TikTok.
They're just like, oh, hey, sir.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, sir.
That is weird.
Hey, do you need me to pick up that shirt that you just dropped for you? I would hate to see you bend over and go, oh.
They all saw him break his neck last year. They're like, oh, we don't
God,
want
they
that.
really did.
It's such a strange story. Like,
and then here's the other part of it. If Kelly Stafford is my wife, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Quiet. Making me look foolish.
The boys that already don't like me now really don't like
now
me.
I got to go to the locker room and be like, what is she talking about, right, guys?
Those dang podcasts.
I'm gonna put my wife in her place when I get home. Or looking at him going, yeah, whatever, Matt. Okay, boomer.
They're like, Matt, do you need us to tell you how to find the podcast?
He's like,
no.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, what's a podcast anyway?
Yeah.
It's like, forget it, Matt.
What a weird story.
I love how we talk about these guys like Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers like they're ancient. And they're not even 40.
No. The weird thing is, like, they've had clearly different careers, Rodgers and Stafford. They both only got one.
Yep.
I have a hard time, not believing it because I don't believe she's lying, but I got a hard time believing these boys ain't in there, like, trying to, like, they respect him, but, like, I have a hard time believing there's not more of, like, a
reverence.
Yeah, like, this guy is.
He's not a legend.
Good. I know.
He's really
I
good.
hesitated, but like,
do you think Matt Stafford's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. I don't know. Strange.
But here's the other thing: that team got bad with Stafford on it, not because of him.
Because his neck was broken.
Not because of him. That's just what happened to the roster while he was on it.
Right.
A-Rod came to the Jets at their worst and elevated them.
We think they haven't played a game.
I mean, they're essentially Super Bowl champions at this point.
No, they're not.
Have you not seen all the media around them? They're going to win the Super Bowl.
I have not.
Let me get to this point about Hard Knocks, and then I'll let you go to break because normally Hard Knocks is what you said. Normally Hard Knocks, you get to meet a couple of kooky characters. You get to see a little bit more about your favorite superstars. But then ultimately what happens is it's really about the young guys who are getting cut. You get to meet a bunch of young guys who you fall in love with, and then it sucks when they get cut. You're like, oh, that was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking of Kajust on the Browns. He was like a third-string tight end.
Kajust?
Yeah, David Kajust or something like that.
Okay.
I forget his first name, but he was so lovable, this guy. Just a sweetheart, big dude. You're like, really? You're going to go out there and make a living beating people up? You're just the nicest guy in the world. Gets cut. I bought a cameo off of him.
No, you didn't.
I did. It was like $25 for my fantasy football team.
For your team? What do you mean?
Well, I was posting. I asked him to talk trash on the guy I was playing in the first week because he was a Browns fan.
Oh.
But this guy is like the sweetest, nicest guy. He did the nicest trash talk.
I thought you meant you bought it for your team to motivate them. Like, they're NFL players. What did you do?
No, well, they're actually not real. It's a fantasy football team.
Right.
But I'm saying you don't get that this year. Either because the Jets were like, we don't want that, or maybe this is something Hard Knocks won't do anymore. They are absolutely not following along the cut storylines.
Are you serious?
There's none of it.
That's the only point of the show.
There's none of it. Not this year. This year, the point of the show is to follow around Aaron Rodgers every
great.
episode. You see a little bit of Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. I find it fascinating. You see a lot of Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. You see a little bit of other players like Sauce. You see a little bit of Brees, but
who's like the most interesting one.
Right. But it's mostly Aaron Rodgers.
Great.
And Robert Saleh. A lot of Robert Saleh.
I'm so glad I didn't watch it.
But it is fun.
I wish they did Hard Knocks on the Rams so we could see Matt Stafford sitting there with the Facebook, like staring at these guys in their locker. He's like, oh.
This is one of the reasons I don't like Hard Knocks or even that Amazon show is because you're not going to get the real like that.
Yeah.
And that's when the show would get interesting. You're right. Matt Stafford struggling to get to know these guys, having these guys whisper, like when he walks out of the room, like, what's up with old man?
It's like him and Cooper Kupp. He's like, is that John? No?
Cooper Kupp's not old.
But they sit next to each other.
Okay.
That's his only friend, apparently.
Casey, I'm going to need you to print me up the Facebook.
Of everyone that works here?
Yeah. And while you're at it, I would love a print up of the TikTok as well.
What you mean, man?
And the Instagram.
Your TikTok's popping. I seen the videos you posted.
I'm going to need a printout.
At Jax Radio Aaron on TikTok.
Not what it is. Which is fine.
Is it the one? I don't want to say because that's like your thing.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. It's all a mystery.
And we ain't going to break till I find out. Actually, my TikTok will start playing some. We're going to break.
You don't want the last video to play. What are you looking at, Case?
I think it'll be sports card rips.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
We'll see.
Well, we won't. We'll go to break.
Brent and Friends will be back. It's Aaron Schachter and Kasey Kuhrts with you until 6. Overtime on right after that.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
I was in such pain. My knee felt like it was just, I thought it was over for all my sports. They said that surgery would last about 8 weeks or so.
We heard about PRP and stem cell and heard the name Injury Care. They do a bile targeting procedure. In 3 weeks, she was ready to get out on the field. We haven't had any issues, and it's just kind of recovered on its own.
Targeted treatment, rapid recovery. Get more stem cells working harder. The best in regenerative medicine. GoBioTarget.com.
Why can't I just speak to an actual human being? I need a new bank.
Well, actually, at One-to-One Financial, communication is not only number one, it's one-to-one. When you call, you get to talk to a real live Jacksonville human, fast, and with someone who's truly concerned about your needs, your security, and finding solutions as a team.
Thank you.
Ready to break up with your bank? Find a real, long-term banking relationship at One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit one-to-onefcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Whether you're driving city streets or country roads, need a vehicle with room for the whole crew or just for two. If it's for business or pleasure, every great journey begins with a great ride. So come get yours today with Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Rent a Toyota at Arlington is the best way to try it before you buy it. You can even rent 2024 models. So what are you waiting for? Get the ride you really want and competitive rental rates you need with Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Are you stressed out trying to create the right digital marketing? You need to contact Cox Media Group Local Solutions, Jacksonville. April Davis here. They've been helping businesses for more than 10 years, so they can help you market across social media, search engines, display ads, Amazon, and more. If you need expert digital advice, make sure you call the experts helping businesses with digital marketing for a decade at 904-454-2648. Keyword April. Call 904-454-2648. Keyword April.
Dig Local believes community gardens, farmers markets, and nutrition education are sustainable routes to a future where everyone can eat better. Shop the Beaches Green Market this and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Penman Park on Penman Road, just north of Beach Boulevard, for fresh local fruits and vegetables, plants, meats, eggs, baked goods, honey, wellness products, ready-to-eat snacks and drinks, and local artist craft goods. If you have an EBT card, stock up on free fruits and vegetables and edible plants. Go to diglocal.org to learn more.
Hurricane season is here, and making sure you're ready is key if you need to evacuate. Evacuations typically don't have to be hundreds of miles. Having at least half a tank of gas ensures you can evacuate the necessary tens of miles to a safe, sheltering location when a storm threatens your community. Check with nearby friends and family now and have a plan in place for what to do if you are ordered to evacuate. Visit halfwayfull.halfwaythere.com to learn about more ways to be prepared.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The Kids Berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Stay with ESPN 690 for your chance to see and hear our special events in the Farah and Farah Performance Studio throughout 2023. Powered by Farah and Farah and ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to Brent Friends, ESPN 690. I'm Aaron Schachter. That is Kasey Kuhrts.
Oh.
This music bed sounds a little bit like ska.
Ska?
You never listened to ska, did you?
Of course not.
It was before your time.
Dude, I have something to tell you. What are we going to do here? I know the answer.
Okay.
The Bishop Sycamore documentary came out. BS High.
I don't know it.
Dude, we talked about this. Remember the fake high school that played IMG?
Oh, remind me again. I kind of remember this story a little bit.
Okay, so Bishop Sycamore High School did not exist.
It's a fake school.
Fake school. And they got a game, I believe it was with IMG, on ESPN. And these kids could not play.
So wait a second. And time. First of all, what sport is it? Is it football or basketball?
Football.
Okay. And the kids they got to play.
Yes.
For BSH.
Bishop Sycamore High School. The documentary is called BS High because it was fake. The whole thing was fake. They got boat raced on ESPN.
Who were the kids that they got to play? Just like actors or something?
No, like they paid, like they were talking about the parents being paid.
And who's they?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So this morning, I didn't know it came out yet. But today on Freddie and Fitzsimmons, which apparently is in the morning now, so shout out to them. I actually like them. So I was listening on ESPN 690. And they were raving about this thing.
I actually believe Freddie Coleman's no longer with Ian Fitzsimmons. I think it's Fitzsimmons and somebody else.
Yeah, but they brought him back for today in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Or for like this week or something.
Like a fill-in.
It's like a special thing. They were raving about this documentary. They said it's everything that the Swamp King should have been.
Yeah, I heard bad things about Swamp Kings. I haven't watched it yet.
They've got this guy in the coach of the thing, watching it back like Michael Jordan was in The Last Dance, explaining what was happening.
That's cool.
They said it's the most incredible, and I believe them because, they're on the radio.
What platform is this on?
You have it. I just forget. HBO Max? Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But there are a couple of good ones on Max. There's a telemarketers documentary I'm going to watch, but I want to see this BS High one too.
Apparently, it is unbelievable good, and I was so locked in when I heard other people getting excited about it. And
so was it just a practice? I'm struggling to understand before you get to your also.
The game was on ESPN.
Okay, but I'm struggling to understand who was behind the grift.
The coach
of BS High.
Bishop Sycamore, yes.
Yes.
The coach.
I keep wanting to say BH High.
It was like a money grab, basically.
BS High. All right, so how is he making money off of this?
According to what they said this morning.
Right.
Which is explained better in the documentary.
Okay.
But the parents were paying the coach to do this.
for the kids.
To play, yes.
But the kids were going to be boat raced. They were going to be embarrassed.
Yes. And they were.
So, like, why would parents want that?
Because they got the game on ESPN, exposure. I don't know.
I feel like
you think your kid's great? I don't know.
I feel like this is a mid-explanation on your part, and I don't think you really understand what this is about. I'm going to give you a D- on this one.
What are you talking about?
I've just graded you. You're graded Gen Mint 3 right now.
Well, first of all, they wouldn't have. Never mind.
It wouldn't be Gen Mint if you were 3?
No, it would just be
a 3?
Garbage 3.
Graded PSA 3.
Yeah, it'd be bad. What do you mean?
I mean, I asked you a simple question.
It's a money grab. I just told you the coach got the money.
For what? What did they pay the coach for?
Have you ever put your kid in any organized sport? Did you have to pay?
They're like 5 and 7.
You have to pay for sports. Like, ask Brent how much he's paid for his kids to play sports.
Okay, but that's a parent paying to put their kids into sports.
And who did they pay?
So you're saying
for travel ball? Who do you paid the coach?
So you're saying the parents and the kids were not in on the scam.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's the part I was missing. So now you got parents and kids who are like, I could just pay for an opportunity here. It's almost like the college entrance scandal.
Yes. And they got a game on ESPN.
They
for
paid
the
this
exposure.
coach
yes.
to get in this game. It's an embarrassment.
Yes.
But then how is that illegal?
I don't think it was because he got away with it.
Oh, okay. All right. This sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it, guys. And then when I come back, I'll give you a much better synopsis than Kasey just gave you.
I haven't seen it. I'm just telling you what I heard.
D-.
It's not a D-.
It's if it's not a D-, it's an F. And then you got a lot of explaining to do. There's no way we're sending you to work every day at a communications broadcast facility.
First of all.
And you can't give a synopsis for a movie. F.
First of all, I don't get paid to be here.
No?
No.
Are you volunteering?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Second of all, watch your tone. Because I'll burn this thing to the ground.
With what?
Oh, really? Really? You with what? With what? You want to try that again? With what? Rhino accident. Give me a break. End the show.
Permanently.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Guys, it's been a fun one.
They shouldn't have let us do this.
I had fun today, Case.
I did until the last segment. I'm just telling you about a good doc to watch. D-, you suck.
You did get lit up on your grade. It's okay, man. It'll just be motivation. You just got to do better tomorrow.
If anything, I'm trying to be worse.
I'll help you do better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with more of this nonsense.
Yeah, we will.
Me and Case. It's
That's
Brent Friends. ESPN 690. Having fun with y'all. Have a great night. Case with Overtime is up next.
Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Do ball.
Have a good night, everybody.
Man, this is a nice truck.
Yeah, check this out.
What?
I changed it to remind me of my time at sea.
Weren't you in the Air Force?
Yeah, but I really love the ocean.
You could save and get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender, leaving you with extra to spend on other things. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loans must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at NavyFederal.org.
This cardboard order, is it up to date?
Camila's Recyclable Coffee Cup Factory can no longer be considered a grande.
Redesign? It's at the printer.
She needs more designers to jump the business to a triple shot.
Client wants to see several more design options. The logo's gotta be bigger.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. It's a great time of year to invest in energy-efficient improvements to your home. With our competitive rates and new tax credits for insulation upgrades, you can get huge savings to improve your insulation today and see long-term savings every month going forward.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Pass to Celsius. 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 Still Celsius. 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 Goal. Goal, 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 goal. Incredible. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the MLS.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
I started to get bony growth on either side of my femur, which started to limit my range of motion, as well as excruciating pain in my knees. After that first treatment, there was immediate relief, and I was able to really squat. I would always have pain when I would bend or squat or do whatever. It just heals up so much better to the point where I'm more functional now than I've been in years.
Targeted treatment, rapid recovery, the best in regenerative medicine. Go biotarget.com.
I'm Christine Lisi. Interesting quarterback news out of Arizona. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Cardinals won't activate Kyler Murray off the PUP list by tomorrow's deadline, so he'll miss at least the first 4 games of the regular season. The Cards also cut Colt McCoy, so it'll likely be Josh Dobbs or rookie Clayton Tune starting the season opener. The United States locked up a second-round spot at the FIBA World Cup by beating Greece 109-81. Another strong performance from Austin Reeves off the bench, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He's been a hit at this tournament. ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
This guy is beloved. Now, he was beloved because he's a Laker, but he's winning over people, and especially his teammates, with how awesome his play has been. He comes in these games, and he is absolutely a difference maker right away. He draws fouls. He defends multiple positions. He doesn't foul. He does spectacular plays.
Michigan offensive coordinator Sharon Moore will be suspended for this week's season opening game as part of the school's self-imposed penalties for violating NCAA rules that also led to head coach Jim Harbaugh's 3-game suspension.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hi, I'm Mike Lester, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisory fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, we want to thank you for your service.
Talon Private Wealth, LLC. Investing in stock markets involves the risk of loss, and there is no guarantee that all or any capital invested will be repaid. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Florida license D05634, California license 0N00828.
Does your digital marketing work? Not sure? Would you like to be? Then reach out to CMG Local Solutions. At CMG Local Solutions, we help you find new customers with a suite of powerful digital marketing services, including search, targeted display, video, and analytics. In fact, we're a Google Premier partner, an honor given only to their top marketing partners. So if you want results you can actually measure, both on the web and on your bottom line, we can give them to you. Learn more about how we can help you at cmglocalsolutions.com.
Make the superior choice when you hire a plumber. From unclogging drains and water heater repairs to complete cast iron pipe replacements, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has you covered. Request a free estimate from Superior Plumbing and Pipelining at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
What's happening? What's happening right now? Oh. Guys, it's okay. It's been a couple of days. We can still do this kind of off, not really doing the show thing. It's fine. It's
been a minute. Yeah.
It's been a minute. Brian, I missed you.
You too, man. What you been up to, man?
He lied. Overtime with Kuhrts in Middleton. I'll tell you in a second what I've been up to. If you're new here and you're like, what is this? We took a week off somehow, some way. Well, the first way was Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, which is usually on after us, not on Mondays. Not sure what the rest of the week looks like for them with the hurricane coming. Check your local listings. Stay tuned for updates. But they were in Columbus, which is still Eastern time. So why they were playing games at 6 p.m., I have no idea. But that knocked out overtime for the week. And here we are on a Monday, back and better than ever. Thank you. What have I been up to, Brian? Not much. I would ask you what you've been up to, but that's boring radio. I know what you were up to this weekend. You was watching them Jacksonville Jaguars. Right up there in the cozy press box, Brian. Woo! Little badge with your name on it. Little picture and everything, Brian. I heard who you were sitting with. I won't name
Why
names.
are you yelling?
I won't name names. Competition and whatnot.
One of your friends, huh? Sleeping with the enemy, a.k.a.
Whoa.
Kasey Kuhrts.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a wild line. I got wild
Pause.
for a second. Yeah, man. Huh? That's
Pause.
crazy. He got a wife and all. Look at you, sleeping with the enemy. All right.
Anyway.
It is true, though. I mean, not the sleeping part, but the...
Yeah, it's
your boy.
not true.
It's your boy.
Eh.
All right, moving on.
I'm rocking with him. He's all right.
I'm going to tell you this much.
We don't hang out outside of work.
Well, clearly, but
I don't hang out with none of y'all outside of work. And y'all be
nah,
trying
you,
too.
Nah,
Whoa.
you hang out. You've hung out with Aaron.
I have not.
You've driven with Brent in his car to places that you guys travel to.
I don't
you guys
count Brent
travel
in
together.
this. Yeah, we went to the Super Bowl
So,
one time.
you know, I don't know about that one, but we don't hang out.
We don't,
and that's true.
I don't hang
Unless
out. I don't hang out with Aaron.
You want to call the Jags game hanging out, but
Not
that's
really.
like a work function.
That's like a work function. I don't hang out with any of these people other than a work function.
Let me just say this one thing.
Technically, the Super Bowl was a work function.
And then you move us on to the next thing. The three of you guys.
The three of who? Me, Brent, and Aaron?
No. You, your former
Terry.
colleague, and Terry. I really do want to listen. After talking with your enemy
I didn't
friend,
get to talk much.
Oh, they said that they brought you in from
Yeah,
time
they
to
lied.
time.
They lied.
Okay.
I didn't get to talk much.
Because that would be amazing. I'm going to be real with you. Those three together, I don't know how you get, your words in specifically.
I didn't get them in.
But I think that was some good stuff. Anyway.
I got
Casey.
0 words in. They're like, Casey, what do you think? I'm like, They're like, all right, thank you.
Can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, okay, back to you guys over there. I like them.
Oh boy,
I like them.
Look at YB. Unless I'm just on a lag on this chat. That's what I'm talking about. YB.
Now YB
talk your talk.
YB is a special listener and viewer because if we could be talking about anything and YB will just be like Super Bowl and bust. Super Bowl, here we come.
He keep the main thing, man.
Dropping 50 burgers every game. Now, good transition to what we're supposed to be talking about for the last 8 minutes, and that is Jacksonville Jaguar football. The preseason is over. The Jags were 3-0. What does it mean? Nothing. Not one thing. No, nothing. 3-0, though. Looks pretty. Only 2 other teams did that. 3-0. But I tell you what, Brian. After watching that first team offense on Saturday night at the bank, it was dominating. Again, preseason. It was destroying the Miami Dolphins. It looked like, dare I say, JV versus varsity until they fumbled on the goal line. LeBron had a great year as a player.
I'm sorry.
Give me a hell yeah.
What I was going for.
We're all over the place. LeBron had a great year as a player.
That's what I didn't mean to do that one. But since I did it and then talked over it by saying my bad, I wanted to play it in its entirety and then play the actual sound I wanted to play. Anyway, please continue, Casey.
Andy Cray from across the pond, which I don't know what time it is in London, but it feels like it's either early or late. We appreciate you rocking with us. It means the backups are probably better than last year. Yes, I do agree with that. That's a good point. That is what it means. That's a good call. The depth is better. YB says we was moving the ball with ease. Yes, and that's the biggest takeaway of anything. They were dominant against the Miami Dolphins first team defense. Now, they had some moments that they would like back, Tank Bigsby being one of those. But, boy, that offense looked impressive. ETN looked fast, says Andy Cray.
And 11:09 p.m.?
23:09.
Holy smokes.
That's crazy.
Thanks for staying tuned in. Because if it was the opposite way around.
So it's only 5 hours ahead over there? Is that right?
I guess so.
I mean,
Wherever
he would
he's at
know
over
he's
there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wow.
Boy, they look good. So that was my biggest takeaway from Saturday night. There are still, even after a preseason in which you go undefeated, and we can all sit here and say their depth is better. Heck, their starters are better for the most part. There are still some concerns. But when you're talking strictly about this offense and the playmakers in which they have, and we've talked about it all offseason, but now that we've seen it, right? We saw it for a drive or two in the first preseason game, and we saw it for 2 drives the other night. And they did not score on both drives. I get that, but they should have if Tank Bigsby could hold on to the football. That was as dominant as you can be in a preseason game, for my opinion. You were there. You saw it. If it looked the way that it did on television, as fast as it looked, as easy as it looked from the television, I know it had to look that impressive in person, Brian Middleton.
Yeah. It was
okay. All right.
So here's the deal. It was fine.
It was fine.
And
it was
they
fine.
did, and
they walked up and
had-
down the field, but it was fine.
And it's fine because, one, they're doing, I think, what was or should be expected from that offense right now, especially against a Miami defense who have many of their starters in, but who didn't they have in? Jalen Ramsey.
I mean, they physically couldn't have.
Yeah. And what's my man on the Christian, I can't think of his name right now.
Wilkins.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't follow the Dolphins like that, but they were missing a couple of key guys who are pretty impactful for that defense, and that's fine. So what you want to see from your Jags, who are fully loaded with an extra Calvin Ridley and a Tank Bigsby, that's what you want to see. And one thing I didn't really see in this in the couple of drives that Trevor and the boys had out there, PYP boys had out there, is something that did really warm my heart. Something that I was like, okay, I only saw one actually. Do you remember last season, Casey, especially early on in the first quarter, when Trevor would start throwing the ball initially, more times than not, they would be high. First couple of passes, guaranteed. It's going to be an overthrow, but it's just because it's going to be over the guy's head.
Sure.
Only saw one overthrow in all of the passes. Not that he completed every one of them, but I only saw one of those. And I was like, my boy, he's out here. Now, I know we're going to get to some of the other parts of the offense as well, but I will also say this. Minus that fumble.
Yep.
Tank Bigsby.
Okay.
That's going to be a problem 1-2 punch.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to, navigate that, negotiate that. Defenses and defensive coordinators going to have a problem for 17 weeks barring injury. Just with the run game. Just with the run game and what the running backs bring to that team. I ain't even get to the wide receivers yet. So overall, Casey, as I hand it back to you, though, yeah, it was fine, but not because I don't think it was impressive, but because against that Dolphins defense who were missing, some guys I think they're really going to be counting on.
Sure.
That's what it's supposed to look like. Do I think they can do it even if Jalen Ramsey was there? Yeah, I do. I do think. Because it really is the pick your poison type deal, Casey. But, yeah, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. I can't wait till the 4th preseason game, as Kasey Kuhrts says, up in Indianapolis with this offense.
Yeah, they'll play 4 quarters in that one. Or maybe 3 if it's just out of hand. But
you see him flapping his wings? Anthony Richardson?
Yeah, that was wild.
That was weird. That's a weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, at least he's confident, which is good, I guess. Not so much after preseason game 4. But, yeah, I think there's a couple of things we know about the Jags from the preseason. Not a ton. I think there's a couple of things we know. They're going to score points. I think they're going to score a lot of points. I don't think that's even in question. I think we also know that their offensive line is not great. I think they have the potential to be good. On the high side, I think they're a On the high side, I think they're a top 10 offensive line. I think on the low side, they could be a bottom 10 offensive line. I think they're somewhere in the middle of those two. Can they get consistent play from the offensive line when Walker Little's at left tackle, Anton Harrison's at right tackle, who did not have a banner game on Saturday night? Was it the shoulder? Was it just a bad night? Who knows? Fortner, Sheriff, and likely Ben Barch at the left guard spot. I think that's the only thing we don't know on offense, what that will look like. I think we know the quarterback's good. I think we know the receivers are great. I think the running game is pretty close to elite with Tank Bigsby now being a part of it. Dearness Johnson continues to make plays, although he will not get carries in the regular season, and you still got JaMychal Hasty in that room. I believe they will. So they're going to score some points. Lots of points, I believe. I think we also know on the defensive side, they're going to stop the run. They've wanted to be built that way. They are. I think Devon Hamilton plays a big part of that. Obviously, we're still figuring out where he is injury-wise. Doug Peterson said he was in the facility today, which is a good sign. We still don't know a whole lot, though, about the injury and what happened and all of that stuff. We may never find out. But from watching these 3 preseason games, I think they're going to stop the run. I think they're built that way, and I think they're going to do it even against the Derrick Henry, even against the Jonathan Taylor if he plays, even against the Dameon Pierce. I think that is going to be their strength. So they're going to score points. They're going to stop the run. And I think majority of the time when the ball's in the air on defense, you feel pretty good about who's covering who. There may be a time or two you don't, but you feel good about whoever Tyson Campbell's covering. You feel pretty good about who Darius Williams is covering. And then we figure it out from there. What do they do at nickel? You got to turn your mic on.
Don't do Trey like that.
What?
Come on, Trey had a play there, I think in the first quarter. He had a little play, little pass breakup. Got up, did his little dance, little, to the crowd.
You give me Greg Jr., please. Right up in there. Starting.
Go ahead, man.
Which is a different conversation. But I do think we know a good amount about this football team. The questions are the offensive line. The question is still the pass rush. Not a lot of questions. By the way, they can boot it, kicking-wise. You see McManus?
Effortless.
This is a good team. This is a good football team. I think we know that. And that's fun. That's exciting.
Let me ask you this. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to stop the run. And yeah, there's only 2 things you can do against an offense. As an offense, run the ball, pass the ball, right?
Yep.
But in a passing league, is stopping the run really, in your opinion, is that the thing that you should hang your hat on?
In this division.
Okay.
I mean, who's the biggest weapon on all of those teams? The running back. Listen, I hear what you're saying, and I think there's an argument to be made for what you're saying against the rest of the AFC. What do the Chargers do? They throw it. What do the Bengals do? They throw it. What do the Chiefs do? They throw it. What are the Jets going to do? I honestly have no idea, but they could do either. What does Miami do? They throw it. But what do the Titans do? They run it. The Texans are going to run it. Colts are certainly going to run it, including with the quarterback. And that's why I wanted them to get a corner and kind of solidify that, because I don't think they're playing. Yes, they're playing the AFC South. Yes, that's the division they're in. They're not competing with the AFC South this year. They're competing with the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Ravens. Pick your teams. But the top teams in the AFC is who they're competing against. So if they can handle their business, and by that I mean stop the run in their division, that'll get them where they need to go. And then from there, they'll need to excel their play. But I think it's clear that these boys are going to stop the run.
Yeah, man. And also, man, I can think of a play again in the first quarter with Robertson Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Just jack some running back, grab him by the shoulder pads like, nah, bro, come back here with me.
Yep.
I know you're running full speed. I know you're trying to make the team. You're trying to move up the depth chart, but what you're going to do this play right here is come back here with me. Very Scorpion Mortal Kombat. Get over here. Energy.
And that is the hardest part about what we're watching right now in the preseason, because Roy Robertson Harris, if they gave out preseason awards, Devon Hamilton played like 4 snaps in the preseason. I don't think he got blocked on any 4 of them. Or I guess he played 3 snaps technically.
Oh, boy.
Roy Robertson Harris and Devon Hamilton were not blockable in the preseason.
Yeah.
Now, what will that look like against the Colts? against the Chiefs and into the regular season, I don't know. But I know if it looks like what it looks like right now, that's a problem for other teams because those two are unblockable. Devon Hamilton has to get healthy. Roy Robertson-Harris still has to perform in the regular season. But if Roy Robertson-Harris is starting where he left off last year in the playoffs and late in the season, he was unblockable. And if he's that again, and if he's developing into that player, it's not a flash, it's not a moment, it's not a couple of games, it's a majority of a season, that's going to be a problem. Add Devon Hamilton, add Josh Allen, add Trayvon Walker, add Devin Lloyd, add all them blitzes Mike Caldwell is calling. It starts in the middle. And we've begged for that interior pass rush for a long time. Just the interior push. And we started to see it last year. It came on at the end with those guys. And then in this preseason and in this training camp, they have been unblockable. Will that translate is a big question, I guess you would say. I don't want to call it an if, but I guess it is. It's a question. If that translates, they are a problem. And it has to translate more than just week one.
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't, honestly, I don't think the Colts are very good. So we'll see what happens against the Colts, but we'll really see what happens when they play the Kansas City Chiefs in the home opener. They got to cut some guys, Brian. And usually, just to be honest, usually it's not that difficult with the Jags. There's players you're like, yeah, they'll get cut. And now, when you look at this, there are some guys where you're like, yeah, there's no shot here. But they've got some tough decisions to make, mostly in the secondary and in the wide receiver room. They've already made some decisions on some guys. Derek Parrish, the fullback, will not be with the Jags. Reports that Jordan Smith will not be with the Jags, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You surprised by that, just by your reaction?
Yeah.
You are?
I am. Absolutely.
Why?
Because I think he deserves to be on the team.
Really?
Yeah.
You're saying over a guy like Chason, I'm assuming.
Yeah. But I think I understand the fact that maybe you're just hoping against hope. If it's a fact that you keep Caleb on or something like that, you hope something or some way you can piece something out this season that's going to help out the Jaguars. But if I'm talking basically off of just what I've seen, it's not a question. It's not a question.
Interesting that you feel that strongly.
And but also this, man, I understand, some people, I've heard the conversations that, you guys have had on Brent Friends or whatnot before about, because I'm just going to jump on Caleb Vaughn right now.
Okay, go ahead. That is the biggest question. I mean, that's what I was going to get to, so go ahead.
I understand numbers over his career, terrible, dealt with injury, doesn't look good against the twos, maybe the threes in some cases in this preseason. I get all that. But sometimes you have to have an eye, like the novice or the casual observer or someone who is not kind of just ingrained in the sport in any capacity, whether it be player, former coach, or you just really watch it, or things of that nature. You may just be looking at some of the stats and be like, nah, it's not great there. But then you have a conversation between you and Brent and Aaron in the 4 p.m. hour, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know what? I didn't think about it this way. He's beating his man. He's causing some hurries. He's disrupting, and it's things that aren't necessarily numerical, not necessarily going to be on a stat sheet. I don't care. It's not supposed to look like that when you picked in the first round at number 20.
I agree with that.
You just not, and by all accounts, by the teammates, various press conferences asked about Caleb Von Chason. He's a leader. He's vocal. He's teaching other guys the defense and what to do in that position. That's all great, right? Mm-hmm. But as a first rounder, man,
you got to perform.
You have to, that's just what comes with it. That's what comes with it. When you're a first rounder, you got to perform. When your name is Kasey Kuhrts, you got to perform, huh? Chip ain't going to accept nothing less. So, I don't see that as being a huge issue, but I understand if they think that they could potentially still get something out of him that will truly benefit the Jags and this defense moving forward this season. Because I'm probably missing something. I'm not at every practice. I'm not in the film sessions. I don't know exactly what they're thinking about this guy. But overall, it's not a hard question for me personally.
I'll start. No, I don't think you're entirely wrong. I'll start with Jordan Smith. 31 snaps in 2 years, technically. He was hurt all of last year, didn't play in 21, drafted in the 4th round. Bad pick. Not good. Didn't work. But I'm not surprised. Like, if you would have asked me before we saw anybody play football in 2023 in training camp or in the preseason, if you would have said, hey, Jordan Smith is probably not going to make it through camp, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, no offense, but why would he? We haven't seen him. It's not his fault he got hurt. It's not his fault he got picked in the 4th round. Because, listen, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever. 4th round, there's still a little bit of expectation.
Okay. All right.
A little bit. Certainly less than Kayvon Chason has. But I don't think I'm shocked that this happened. I think they're a bit lacking at the position. I think if they've got anybody that can give them something or they think can give them something, they're keeping. So for them to cut him tells me they don't think they can get anything in a room that might need some serious help. So I think that is telling. But it is the one name that I've seen so far today that reportedly will be cut by the Jacksonville Jaguars that surprised me a little bit. Everybody else I've seen on this list, you weren't going to keep another running back. I'm assuming we're going to see yet another running back on this list of guys that were cut in Snoop Connor. We'll see. The fullback, whatever. Sam Jackson, the offensive lineman. Kevin Austin, which, by the way, was reported by Adam Schefter, which...
Iffy?
Nah, I'm just saying if you're going to get cut, at least get reported by Adam Schefter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's got like millions and millions and millions of followers. Like, some of these other guys getting reported by, like, Pelissero or ML Football. Like, yeah, it's fine. But, like, if I'm getting cut, I want Adam Schefter to report it. Anyway. But back to Chason. He's making the team. Like, you can feel some type of way. Fans can feel some type of way. Heck, I feel some type of way. But, like, I believe he'll be there. I'd be shocked if he's not, especially with Jordan Smith going. And, again, I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive, but I'd be surprised if they cut both of those guys. Because, again, it's a room that I'm not really sure where that's at. I think Yasir Abdullah made plays this preseason.
Yeah, he did.
I'm excited about what they could have found there. Smoot, as YB mentioned in the chat, will come back at some point. No idea when that will be. Not soon. So you got a long time to wait for that. And if Roy Robertson Harris and Devon Hamilton are as dominant as they've been, and you can get literally at this point anything from Foley Fatukasi, which I'm starting to question, then it's not so bad. But I think Chason's on the team, whether we like it or not. I think something crazy would have to happen. Trade would have to come down. Maybe call Arizona, see if you can get some of their players, because they're just... Did you see this today?
No.
Colt McCoy released their only quarterback. It's a crazy story. I'll tell you about it when we come back. We got to take a break. Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton, ESPN 690. More to talk about on the Jags as the preseason wraps up. Ventrell Miller will miss the entire season. I have some thoughts on that. It's unfortunate for him. What does it mean for the rest of the roster? Who else can make it before 4 p.m.? Ventrell Miller, I believe, was locked in. What does that now mean for Shaq Quarterman is a question. Colt McCoy was cut today by the Cardinals. It does not mean a damn thing in Jacksonville, but what it means is the Cardinals are not trying. I'll tell you about that in a second. And are you kidding me? The Dallas Cowboys traded for Trey Lance? A lot happened. It's been a while.
Good for them.
I missed you, Brian.
Good for them.
We got things to talk about. Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton. BRB.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690. A tropical storm watch is in effect for Jacksonville, the I-95 corridor to the beaches. It's a hurricane watch west of Highway 301. Partly cloudy tonight with a widely scattered shower storm and temperatures in the 70s. Partly sunny for Tuesday. A few showers and thunderstorms from time to time with gusty winds will reach the low 90s. Then the main impacts from Idalia move in late tomorrow night and into the day on Wednesday. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. For a limited time, get 5 years, 0 interest, only at Beards Diamonds.
What? They did not tell me they were going to do that. I need a new bank.
Well, actually, One-to-One Financial doesn't do the usual bank surprises because we're not a bank. We're a credit union. And that means lower loan interest, things like free checking and member rewards, and of course, total investment back into our community.
I'm sold.
Find a better way to bank than big banks with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit 121fcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Oh, how great it would feel to have your 20-year-old knees, shoulders, hips, and back.
You know, you don't think about your pains when you're in your 20s or 30s, but you wish you could get that body back when you're in your 60s. I think QC did that for me.
For Patrick, it started with a simple phone call to QC Kinetics.
One day I was driving and I just heard the radio and I pulled over and took the number and I called them when I got home.
Maybe that's you and you're listening right now. Why wait? QC Kinetics Regenerative Treatments uses your body's own natural biologics to heal and restore damaged tissue without invasive surgery or harmful drugs. And as for the results,
my knees are as good as they were when I was in my 20s. I'm really happy with what happened.
For Patrick, it's like QC Kinetics turned back the clock. Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-206-7930. 904-206-7930. That's 904-206-7930.
The extracurricular activities, the traffic, the nightly homework, the traffic, the finding time to eat dinner together as a family, the traffic. Back to school can be stressful. Thanks to Ziploc, meal prep doesn't have to be. New Ziploc bags with Stay Open design have a patented stand-up bottom that helps keep the bag upright and a top grease that folds and holds for easy filling, unlocking a second set of hands in the kitchen. If only it unlocked a second set of lanes. New Ziploc brand freezer and storage bags with Stay Open design from S.C. Johnson, a family company.
I was crossing the street when I met the love of my life. I chased after her. Nothing would stand in my way. Not the dog walker, nor the hot dog vendor. Finally reaching her, I asked, "What do you call that amazing smell?"
It's Gain Flings.
Gain Flings. My love had a name, but more importantly, it had a scent.
Fall in love with Gain Flings. Seriously good scent. Gain Flings with 50% more freshness ingredients versus leading bargain detergent.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotics Assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jaguars football is right around the corner. After an exciting playoff run last season, optimism is at an all-time high. Tailgaters is right across the street from Everbank Stadium, offering clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on well-kept grass lots. Every game at Tailgaters is a championship experience. Demand is high following last year's historic season, so spaces are very limited. Secure your parking today at tailgatorsparking.com. If you wait, you're going to miss out. tailgatorsparking.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. With over 2 million phone calls last year alone, more people in more cities across America want more Morgan & Morgan. When you hire Morgan & Morgan, you're also hiring a family business. And after 35 years, we now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you. Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I wouldn't be exaggerating when I say this. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without that chronic joint pain and without drugs and without surgery. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right into your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. That's causing all of that horrible pain. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, a real alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Imagine this fall moving around pain-free, doing the things you love again, walking, hiking, playing golf, playing with the grandkids. Call QC Kinetics and see how the latest advances in precision regenerative medicine can attack your pain and bring you lasting relief. Now is the best time to get started. 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522 for a free consultation with QC Kinetics.
Digital marketing, well, my intern handles the social media, my brother-in-law does my search, and my receptionist sends out email blasts. All done.
Your digital marketing may get done, but is it doing anything? No? Then let CMG Local Solutions help. At CMG Local Solutions, we combine the best-in-class technology and analytics to maximize your digital dollars while targeting local customers for your business. So your digital marketing doesn't just get done, it gets results. Learn more about how we can help you at cmglocalsolutions.com.
It's not just a sale. It's the National Sales Event, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota. Arlington's got over 400 new Toyotas available. Camrys, Corollas, Tundras. I think you should take a test drive today. Plus, with every new Toyota purchase at Arlington, you get Arlington's lifetime warranty and 30-day exchange program. That's 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. The National Sales Event is here, and you don't want to miss it. Shop today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
As residential golf cart use increases, make sure you and your child know the safety basics to help avoid crashes and injuries. Whether you're driving a golf cart on the course or off, staying safe should always be a priority. Learn more at go.baptistjacks.com/golfcart.
This is Brent Friends with Brent Martineau.
You don't even like your quarterback.
Kasey Kuhrts.
You don't even like your team.
And Aaron Schachter.
I don't even like myself, guys. Do you know me?
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, ESPN 690. Andy Cray in the UK, heading to bed. Stay safe with the storm, everybody. We'll try. So, I'll do my best. I am the worst homeowner in preparedness for hurricane, right? I got nothing. Can't block the windows, no batteries, no water, none of it. Now, granted, some of y'all, somebody listening, and I'm not trying to call you out, somebody listening went to Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie, wherever you shop. First off, I ain't judging you. I'd be shopping all over. Whoever got the deals, all right? Simple as that. But some of y'all, somebody that's listening to this, went out and bought an unnecessary amount of water today. I know one of y'all did. We can't be doing that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. Are you worried about the hurricane? Mike's not on.
No.
Okay.
No. Now, maybe if I was on the west side of the state, because it's supposed to be a Category 3 when it hits over there. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even then, the level of worry as not being a native Floridian, but being here long enough to, be now I'm groomed as a Floridian.
Yeah.
But just living in the Southeast most of my life, got to be real with you. 3 and down don't do a thing for me.
I agree with
okay?
that.
I get a little bit more supplies at a 3, but I'm not stopping nowhere extra.
No.
For this tropical storm that's going to hit by the time it gets to us over here.
The only thing I change at a 3 is I go, you ain't paying me enough to work here to drive in 90-mile-per-hour winds. I will tell 2 different bosses that.
Uh-huh.
I've got no problem telling them that.
Yeah.
And if you want to up my pay, I will come in the 90-mile-per-hour winds. Otherwise, I'll be sitting my tail at home. But if you want to pay me more, I will come in. Because, again, it's ain't nothing but a thing. Andy Cray, by
Do
the
the
way.
2 bosses, do they share a name?
No.
Oh, who are the bosses?
My boss here and my boss at Divoli's.
Oh!
Yeah. I ain't get paid enough to come into work if 90-mile-per-hour winds. I'll tell everybody. I don't mind. Andy Cray in the chat. Looks like I'm not sleeping. Jags have just waived Rourke, which is true. Tom Pelissero reporting. The Jaguars have waived quarterback Nathan Rourke per source. The former Ohio U and CFL standout had a strong preseason and could return on the practice squad if he clears waivers. No shock.
Nature of the game.
They weren't keeping Rourke. Third quarterback rule is interesting, but again, you have to be a part of the 53, and that was not going to be the case. I didn't think they were in a position to hold 3 quarterbacks on their roster.
I wonder who's getting that spot.
Like you're talking the last spot on the roster, per se?
Sure.
I would say there's a couple of things at play here. 2, mostly. Yeah, I'll give it 3. If you're talking about a last spot and you want to keep one more of some position. The first thing I would say is, what is the Tyler Shatley situation? We're not sure still. Doug Peterson talked a little bit about it today. But again, nothing is set in stone. So without Shatley, who is the ultimate, and this is not a disrespectful term, this is a truly, I would not rather have a different backup offensive lineman than anybody. Shatley can play center, both guards, and probably a tackle if given the opportunity. Shatley can play anywhere you need him, and he is extremely valuable. We saw it last year. So that's the first part of this. What's the Shatley situation, and where is Josh Wells? Doug Peterson talked about it again today. But that's 2 offensive linemen that you signed for depth that are hurt, plain and simple. Hurt in different ways. Josh Wells got an injury. Tyler Shatley has a heart situation that needs to be monitored pretty closely. So my first answer to you, Brian, would be offensive line depth for that last spot. My second goes to Devon Hamilton. Where is Devon Hamilton? Doug Peterson says it's getting better. He's in the facility. What does that mean? We don't know fully because we don't know what the injury is. So if I'm looking at an Indianapolis Colts team in week 1, that as long as Jonathan Taylor's still on their team, will play and will run the football, especially with Anthony Richardson at quarterback, give me the extra run stuffer, the big boy up front, if you will. So I would say that's a spot. And then in the secondary, I'm not convinced they know what they want to do yet. They've seen guys play. Braswell's made plays. Monteric Brown, Clay Brooks here. Greg Jr. there. Even going to safeties. Hallett here. What's going on with Antonio Johnson? So many things, right? So I would say those 3 positions right off the rip are certainly more important in the situation than the third quarterback. But again, I'm not surprised by this. He had a great preseason. He made maybe the play of the preseason in Dallas. It was a great story. TSN from Canada followed him all around. They got some great content for a couple of months. And he'll be on somebody's practice squad. I don't understand why the Arizona Cardinals wouldn't sign him, just to be real with you. As I mentioned before the break, the Arizona Cardinals, who Kyler Murray will not start the season, if you didn't know, still dealing with the torn ACL, have cut Colt McCoy in favor. Get this. This is wild. You can't tell me they're not tanking. They have signed Josh Dobbs, sight unseen, from the Browns, and have cut Colt McCoy, and Josh Dobbs will now be their starter. This is after trading Isaiah Simmons, who was a first-rounder, for a 7th-rounder.
Wow.
You can't tell me they're not tanking. Like, if I'm Budda Baker, who's asked for a trade multiple times, is the only good player in Arizona. I'm calling the league office myself. I'm like, we take it over here, bruh. Come look at this. What are they doing?
Well, as you just said, man, they're just clearing out Caleb Williams' a locker. That's all they're trying to do.
Which is fine, but, like, you can't do it this blatantly.
No, yes, you can.
You can't.
You clearly can.
You
They're
can't.
doing it. What are you talking about?
I
yes,
know
you
they're
can.
doing it, but they should get in trouble. They should take the pick from them.
They should take the pick.
I'm just kidding.
Is Colt McCoy?
It's just stupid. Well,
just
no.
across the. Is he that much of a difference maker from 5 wins to
No,
1?
Absolutely not. But it's just the principle. Colt McCoy has been on this team for years. Yes, they've brought in new coaching staffs. I get it. But Colt McCoy is the ultimate backup, right? Seen a lot of football. It's your player-coach situation more than anything.
Okay.
He knows the offense. He knows his teammates. And you just cut him for a guy that hasn't even been in your organization 25 minutes?
Listen, man.
He was on the street when the Titans signed him to play in the preseason game. Or the, I guess, end of the season last year. What I meant to say was the postseason game, which technically was not a postseason game. It was just the last game of the season for the Jags and the Titans for who would win the AFC South. But this was a guy that did not have a job, unemployed. Played for the Titans. Wasn't great. Wasn't even good, really. And then you're telling me Arizona saw so much from him in the preseason on a different team, in a different conference, in a different time zone, hell. And they're like, you know what we need to do? Make this guy our starter. Huh?
Listen, man. Casey.
Come on.
Again, it's one of these things where visionaries unite. Now, I'm not rooting for the Arizona Cardinals, but listen, the one time I really lived outside the Southeast was in Arizona, and I was there pre-Kyler Murray, pre-Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. And this is where the Suns and the Cardinals sucked. And I don't know, the Diamondbacks might have been all right, but I don't think they were winning any championships, okay?
They wasn't. They sucked.
If I'm the Arizona Cardinals GM, what's his name? What's his name?
Who knows?
Whatever his name is.
What? I think they fired him. Hold on. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I
were
get the
gonna-
name. I get you there.
Whoever's making the decisions as the GM right now, whether there's an acting GM or someone firmly in place.
Monty Austinford.
If I'm Monty Austinford,
okay,
I'm saying right now, man, F this season. And I understand, man, Buddha, we love you. You're a great player. F this season. You want to know why? Because it's a quarterback league, like you said. And we got the next best thing since Trevor Lawrence.
I agree with that.
Coming in here. And if we play our cards right, well, hopefully if the other teams don't play their cards right, we're going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. in here too.
That's actually a great
so
point.
I'm not worried about this. A little bit
I
of
didn't
pain.
think about that. That's a great point.
We the Philadelphia 76ers of the NFL.
That's
8
true.
years later or 10 years later, whenever that process started.
Which, by the way, didn't work out.
It didn't work out because their main player had a defective flaw that I pointed out to multiple Phillies fans
There he
who were
goes on
happy
Ben
about him
Simmons.
coming in, Ben Simmons, right? But tell me the flaw you see in Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr.
I do not.
Yeah, this is different.
All right. Now,
Go
here,
ahead.
here we go.
I saw your face change. What's going on?
We got 6 minutes in show.
Okay.
We got a lot of crap to do. I need the conspiracy theory music.
Hey,
as soon
hey.
as you can get it, because as you know, we typed in, who is the Cardinals GM? Because I was thinking of the other guy. He got fired. They hired Monty Austinford. Do you know who Monty Austinford is, Brian?
The Arizona Cardinals GM.
You are absolutely right. He is. Do you know what his job was the last 3 years? I will tell you, because as I just said, we don't have a lot of time. We have a lot to get in. He was the director of player personnel. Guess where? I'll save you the time. The Tennessee Titans. Yes. Yes. What I am selling you is this. This guy
got rid of A.J. Brown? That guy?
Yeah, technically. Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This guy, that wasn't where I was going, but yes, you're right. This guy, the director of player personnel with the Titans, is the one who brought in Josh Dobbs last year to the Tennessee Titans. He was up close and personal. And again, Josh Dobbs, I feel like I'm attacking you. I like you. But he saw firsthand, hey, I know what to do here. I know how to tank. Let's get Josh Dobbs. Well done by you. Colt McCoy might win us a game or two. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Again, Josh Dobbs. I'm sorry, but this guy made a decision today. Or yesterday, technically. Wow. Monty Ossenfort. We need to look into his GMing a little bit. Because right now, the tank is on in Arizona.
That's terrible.
You're dang right it is, Chuck. All right.
Look at that. Bring it all together, Kasey Kuhrts. What else we got?
I'm going to stay here, and then we're going to go to Trey Lance because I can't believe this happened. This is like an I said what I said. Okay, so college football came back. We didn't have a show last week. Did you watch college football? A lot of the games sucked. All right. Now, Saturday night, Jags are on. I understand. A lot of people watching the Jags. I was watching the Jags. But I'm a Caleb Williams. I'm in love with the kid. Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
That's a wild take.
Pause.
I'm just telling you it's a wild take.
Pause.
That's not from me. That's from America. Okay. That's a wild take to declare. Okay.
I'm in love with his talent.
Nah, you ain't got to clear nothing up. You're a grown man.
I'm in love with his talent.
You love who you love, Kuhrts.
On the field, I think he is a unbelievable player. Holy cow, I heard it too. Jeez, they're going to put me on a list. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, I tell you what. Anyway, so Jags are on. I got a double TV situation in my house. And I say to Amanda, I'm like, I need to put on the USC game.
Okay.
Caleb Williams is playing. I got to see what I got to watch him play. She's like, okay, no problem, which I thought was actually going to be a problem. It wasn't. So I go to put on the game. And I'm searching through all the other games that are on. Let me give you some examples. Massachusetts, New Mexico State.
Yeah, terrible.
Barn burner. Vanderbilt, Hawaii, which apparently was a one-score game. Holy cow, Vanderbilt. Louisiana Tech, FIU, all on television. Ohio, San Diego State, which I bet on Ohio, which kind of stunk. And I'm like, where is USC? Brian, the USC game was not on TV. I've got Massachusetts, New Mexico State on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. And I got Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner, the generational talent, the number one pick to the Arizona Cardinals, will start game one for the Cardinals next year in the NFL after being the number one pick, maybe being a back-to-back Heisman winner, maybe winning the national championship, and the game is not on television? I got to pay for Pac-12 Network to watch it? Are you kidding me?
Pac-12 energy right there.
I'm glad the Pac-12 is going away. Now, forget y'all. What are we doing, ESPN? Massachusetts, New Mexico State. No disrespect if your son is on the team and you're a parent listening, but what the hell? What are we doing? You don't have to dump it. What are we doing?
You suck.
I was so upset. All right, Trey Lance. What do we think? Trey Lance to the Cowboys.
I'm going to let you let it breathe, man. I know you had a real investment into this.
We might have to go back into Trey Lance tomorrow because we don't have a ton of time. But I don't get it fully. I get it for San Francisco. They got a fourth-round pick. I'm shocked. Yes, they gave up 3 first-rounders to get him. It was a bad decision. But they somehow got out of a bad decision, I thought, somewhat cleanly. I thought we were talking 7th round, 6th round, or cut.
I think it's a bad decision because
to trade him?
No. Well, you're talking about they got out of a bad decision as far as drafting him.
Yes.
I think it's a bad decision basically because of his health and their inability to either commit or not commit to Jimmy G, to commit or not commit to Brock Purdy, then finally commit. Like they handled a lot of this wrong, and it'll be forgotten because they keep getting the NFC Championship game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're getting a lot more right than they get wrong.
I agree with that. But Dallas?
Yeah, I like it.
Why?
Put that pressure on Dak. Stop throwing the ball to Rayshon Jenkins, Dak. Quit throwing the ball to Kasey Kuhrts and Brian Middleton, Dak. Throw it to CeeDee Lamb, not Noah Brown, Dak.
I agree with that. There ain't no pressure on Dak. You think they should have told him?
I'm sure they did.
He said he didn't. They didn't.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't fault one.
That the trade came down. I don't.
I mean, he's not. He don't play well enough to tell. He's not that kind of guy. Spicy. You tell a Trevor Lawrence. You tell an Aaron Rodgers.
Boy, they paid him a lot.
You read it to Patrick Mahomes and let him read over the contract before you send it out. Heck, you even do that with a Josh Allen, and you know I be down on Josh Allen sometime.
Yeah.
You don't do that with a Dak Prescott. Y'all, you paid him his money. How about he perform and quit throwing it to the overtime crew?
We got to go, man. We are late. Overtime with Kuhrts and Middleton. Welcome back on a Monday. That was a lot. Holy cow. I believe. Should I tease it or no?
Yeah.
I believe coming up next is the Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. I believe. If it's not, blame Aaron. This is Aaron's fault. Aaron Schachter, 96.9 The Eagle. Not us. Not us. Call him in the morning. He'll be in there. I don't know the phone number. Look it up on the internet. Call him. Ask him where the coach's show was if it's not on. But if it is on, that was all me, baby. That was all me. For Brian Middleton, I'm Kasey Kuhrts. We're back tomorrow. Have a good night. Trey Lance, what the heck?
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. But a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be.